Winston rival. The sandback is Burke Watts, number 32. The Mike back is number 9, Cade Mullins. The Cardinal back is number 34, Matt Fannin. The left corner is number 14, Glen Covington. The free safety is number 10, Cooper Robb. And the right corner is number 2, Sam Sutton.
Wow, second grade in college? Yeah, he was definitely not a parent over.
Tonight's starting offensive team for the LaSalle Lancers. The offensive line is a 6'1", 282-pound senior, number 51, Andrew Yeager. A 5'10", 280-pound sophomore, number 58, Marco Hayden. A 6'2", 230-pound senior, number 77, Elijah Hyman. And a 6', 292-pound senior, number 67, Dan Ratterman. And a 6'6", 279-pound senior, number 78, John Brocksterman. The running back is a 5'10", 207-pound sophomore, number 24, Cam Porter. Wide receiver, a 6', 185-pound junior, number 88, Luke Dashley. The other wide receiver is a 6'1", 181-pound senior, number 8, Jake Roberts. The tight ends are a 6'7", 228-pound senior, number 81, Josh Riley. And a 6'2", 204-pound junior, number 44, Deion Campbell. The quarterback is a 6'1", 202-pound senior, number 12, Griffin Merritt. The officiating crew tonight, the referee is Jeff Joy, the umpire is Roland Thompson, the line judge is Jim Rudisell, the head linesman is Chris Anderson, and the back judge is Larkin Banks.
So actually when I was signing Nick up to shadow, I texted her and I said, can my Nick shadow your Nick in the fall? And she said, my Nick chose X. And I just, it hadn't even dawned on me. Right. He's at X. The older one went to the south. I don't know if you know Joe Schneider. They're a single. They have 4 kids, 2 boys, 2 girls. The oldest girl went to Mercy. The one that's my daughter's age was Paul. The oldest boy went to X. The youngest one is now a freshman here. 4 kids, 4 different schools. The other thing is that they were school at the same time when you're doing that. You know, that's the only. God bless her, yeah.
But you couldn't do that anyway. I think so much.
Well, you got 2 boys and 2 girls. Yeah, she's lucky that the older one was out in college. But isn't that unbelievable? Yeah. Both genders chose different schools. It's hard to wrap around 17-year-olds making decisions on college. Never mind a 13-year-old deciding high school. That's what I said. You can request what school you want to go to, but I'm paying 20-something thousand a year, so I will be making the final decision. Exactly right. You know, I grew up in Connecticut. I didn't grow up here. I didn't come here till after I graduated college. And I went to a Sisters of Mercy school in Connecticut. I had to take 2 years of Latin. It was a requirement. 2 years of Latin and then 2 years of either. I don't think it's a bad thing.
I took a year's journey, 2 years of Latin, and 3 years of rest.
Nothing's a piece of cake out of the Latin. And but I always say, yeah, no English. I always say, you know what? I don't regret it, and I think it's a good idea because guess what? In life, there's always things that you think are a waste of time. So guess what? You're getting used to that early. That's right.
Or something like that. Yeah. Going to a game. Yeah, I know who it is. I know where she parks out there.
Yeah.
Good evening and welcome in to LaSalle Lancer football here on the LaSalle Broadcasting Network. Tonight, your LaSalle Lancers look to go 4-0 on the season as they play host for the first time ever to the Scott County Cardinals. Good evening and welcome in. I'm Jeff Bossy. Joining me momentarily will be Marty Strohoffer as we get you ready for LaSalle Lancer football. The Lancers come into this contest tonight as a perfect 3-0 with wins over Colerain, East Central, and then this past Friday night, a 30-0 win over the Wolves of West Claremont. Tonight, a sizable challenge for the Lancers as they face 3-1 Scott County. Scott County, the largest school in the state. They're out of Georgetown, Kentucky, almost 2,500 students, and a school with a long history of football success as they have played in the state semifinals the past 3 years. I had a chance yesterday to sit down with the Lancer head coach, Pat McLaughlin, and talk about the win over West Claremont and also look ahead to tonight's contest with the Scott County Cardinals. Here's the coach. Joining me now here on the pregame show is the head coach of Lancers, Pat McLaughlin. Coach, you guys come off a 30-0 win this past Friday night, and may have been your most complete effort all season.
Yeah, it was good. Defense played well again. Offense put some points on the board. Special team struggled a little bit, but they played well the first two games. So we got to keep improving, and got a good team coming here this week.
It seems like offensively, your best night throwing the ball. And how far do you think you guys have come on that side of the ball with putting the ball in the air?
Well, I really think that in week 2, if the weather was good, we could have thrown the ball then. And I think Colerain's defense speaks for itself, but I think we've come a long way. I think we got a lot of targets we can hit. The good thing about Friday night is we spread the ball around. Josh, I think, had 4 catches. So did J-Rob, and Cyber had a couple catches. So as long as we keep spreading the ball around, we'll have a shot to keep getting better in the passing game.
One thing that we really haven't talked much about offensively this year has been kind of the play of your offensive line. Talk about how that's developed. That was kind of an area of uncertainty going into the season and where that stands at the moment.
Yeah, I think they're getting better every week. Coach Durger does a good job coaching them up and preparing them each week. Yeggs and John Broxterman and Ratterman and Eli and even King had to go down the other day because we had an injury with Broxterman in week 2. So those guys are getting better. They're starting to gel, which is important for them. We're starting to run the ball. We got in a rhythm on Friday night, which is good. We did well on third down, so we're staying on the field. And I think the more we can start running the ball, being more balanced in our passing and running game, we'll be better offensively.
Defensively, you guys just been lights out, just 3 points in 3 games. What has been the key to how good this defense has been here early in the season?
Well, I think they're prepared each week. I think Jay Roden does a really good job along with the defensive staff, getting the guys prepared, knowing what's coming in particular sets and different situations. But they've got good speed, whether it's the defensive line taking up blocks and linebackers getting the ball, the secondary, playing good pass defense. It's been a whole unit effort. They got to keep getting better. I think there's some things that they can improve on. As long as they keep getting better, we should have a good shot at it.
Yeah, we can't forget about what Craig Wills did this past week. 2 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown, and got you guys started with a pick 6 early in that game.
Yeah, he keeps getting better. In the passing game, Coach Roder made a good call on that. We kind of called 3X, and he sat down in the coverage right there, and the guy threw it right to him, and Craig finished the play. So our secondary, a lot of those guys haven't played yet. And again, that's a group that keeps getting better. They keep gelling, and Craig did an outstanding job Friday night.
Coach, you just got back from Paul Brown Stadium and taking the Lancers down there. Talk a little bit about what you guys were doing down there and kind of what that experience was like.
Yeah, it was fun for our guys that went down. So what we did was we went down on the field, and in the pregame, Coach Mariucci and Michael Irvin, they do a demonstration of what the Texans defense is going to do to the Bengals offense. So they kind of demonstrated what J.J. Watt and another guy was going to do with regards to the Bengals offensive line and how they're going to get pressure on Dalton. So they used our kids to kind of simulate what the Texans defense is going to do. And our kids did a really good job. They had fun. It was a great experience.
They can leave J.J. Watt around for tomorrow night.
I will take him. Huh? Hopefully he's on our side, not on Scott County side. But you got Clowney down there. We saw them coming in, and Deshaun Watson. They were walking in. We were leaving. So those are some big guys, and they look ready to play tonight.
Be interesting to see how that comes out tonight down at Paul Brown. Here tonight, you'll be looking at the Scott County Cardinals team from Georgetown, Kentucky, one of the most successful 6A schools in the state, and a lot of similarities from what we've seen offensively from a couple opponents this year. Talk about this explosive Scott County Cardinal offense that's going to come in here averaging 46 points a game.
Yeah, we all know who Highlands is around here. They've had a good program for a long time. They score 71 points. So if you score 71 points in Madden, you score 71 points on air, and that's pretty good, much less in a high school football game against a good team. They're well coached. They run a version of the wing tee. It's a little bit better than what we've seen so far. I wouldn't compare it to Coleraine. It's not the option, but it's a wing tee. It's similar to West Claremont, but they got big offensive line. They got good skilled kids. They're very deceptive in how they run it. And it looks like it's been a part of their culture for a long time. So, we got a tough task. You talked about our defense earlier. They're really going to have to play well, play assignment football, and do their job tomorrow night.
You might be looking at the best running back you've seen all season in Bryce Fryman. He's got 450-plus rushing yards already through 4 games. Talk about the challenges that he will provide for tomorrow night.
Yeah, we don't compare him against anybody else. I know one thing, he'll be the best running back along with those other guys that we see tomorrow night, and we're going to have to tackle him. He's good in space. He kind of makes you miss. He's shifty. And again, their offensive line, they got an offensive line that's got offers from Alabama and Ohio State and just about everybody else in the country. So, we got to play well. We got to swarm the ball, play team defense. And as I always say, we don't need any heroes out there. Just do your job and we'll be fine.
Defensively for Scott County, it's a team that gave up 28 points in the loss to Moeller last week, 38-28. What have you seen on that side of the ball?
Yeah, they're good. They play man-to-man coverage. They don't blitz a ton. They got the corner out there, number 14, that's really good. The safety is really good, number 10. And again, they have 2 or 3 guys with the defensive line and offensive line going both ways, and 14 plays both ways as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw number 3 playing some defense. So they're big, probably the biggest team we've seen thus far, maybe other than Coleraine. They're fast. They got some good athletes, and they play a style of defense maybe that we don't necessarily see. Maybe Winton Woods I would compare them to in terms of the coverage that they play. So they'll be really good.
It makes for one of those interesting games when you face a team that you're not real familiar with coming from down in Georgetown, Kentucky. But it makes for an interesting atmosphere with bringing their fans down, and it should make for a unique game tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's going to be good. I think they're excited to come up here. I think they've been to Cincinnati maybe 1 or 2 times. They had Moeller go down there last week. And so they're trying to get ready for their postseason when they have to play Trinity and Louisville St. X, and kind of having us back-to-back with Moeller. So hopefully Moeller beat them up a little bit, banged them up a little bit, took care of helped a GCL South team, as they come in here. But we're expecting a good, hard, physical game tomorrow night.
Coach, keys to victory.
Yeah, like always, we got to stop the run. One of the things we haven't done offensively is turn the ball over. So create turnovers, don't turn over on offense, stop the run, and be able to run the ball. Like as I always say, when we want to, not when we have to. And so if we can take some shots deep, mix in the running game, I like our chances.
Coach, best of luck, and hopefully we're talking after the game with the 4 straight win and 15 consecutive victories here for the Lancers.
Yeah, well, we hope so. We'll see.
Head coach Pat McLaughlin, stay with us. The pregame show rolls on as we get you ready for the kickoff. The Lancers and the Cardinals here on LaSalle Broadcasting Network. We're back here in the press box here as we get you ready for LaSalle and Scott County. It is military night here tonight, the 9th annual military night, as the color guard is on the field, which features the Veterans of the Green Township VFW Post 10380, and also a salute to our Greater Cincinnati veterans who are currently on the sidelines and lined up, and will greet the Lancers as they come over to the bench as they get ready for kickoff. And just a great thing tonight, they're also doing the team fast tracks with the skydiving team. We'll be bringing in the game ball here momentarily. But the big thing is tonight, Team Fast Track in LaSalle are honoring the Warrior Foundation, who supports combat-injured Purple Heart Warriors and fallen hero Gold Star families by providing fun, bonding, and enriching life-changing experiences that facilitate new friendship and emotional healing. All veterans tonight were granted free admission, and at the end of the first quarter, they will be taking up a collection throughout the stands for the Blue Skies, good guys and girls And Marty, just a very important thing with what the Lancers have done around here in the 9th annual with the military night.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's really great to see all these gentlemen lined up on the sideline here, and folks who, I saw some folks active from Korea, folks active from Vietnam, and it's great to have them come here and earn a little bit of the respect that we know we all have for them, and appreciation for all the sacrifice that they've given for their service.
Absolutely. I mean, it's protection of this country is that number one priority with in this day and age, and what it has been in the past as well. And they've can't honor these guys enough, and happy to have them here tonight with us as LaSalle and Scott County do battle here for the first time ever. Marty, nice win last week for the Lancers. They beat West Claremont 30-0 and pretty much dominate from start to finish.
Yeah, no question, especially the Lancer defense. They got the ball rolling with a pick six early in that contest, Jeff, and really never looked back. The other nice thing about that, with a 30-0 score going into halftime, we had a running clock in the second half, and the Lancers were able to get some of the other guys who maybe don't see quite as much varsity action into the game. I mean, the Lancers were able to go deep into the bench and give some guys some good varsity minutes in that contest last week.
Oh, and that's essential to build depth and to give guys experience. Maybe they don't play a whole lot this year, but in future years, some of those younger guys getting critical game experience.
And I think the other thing we saw in that contest, Jeff, was really seeing quarterback Griffin Merritt get loose and really start to extend the passing game more so than we were able to do in those first two contests. The first contest against Coleraine, who may have the best defense in the city, maybe next to us. Tough going, and then to play that second game in the mud at East Central
in a rainstorm.
Yeah, tough to get the passing game going in that environment too. So it was really great to see Griffin and the receiving core really come into their own last week. And I know, as Coach McLaughlin said, they're going to try to build on that again tonight, because I think tonight against this Scott County team, they're going to have to score some points.
This
won't be a 7-3 contest.
No, this is a Scott County team that comes in averaging 46 points a game. Now, that might be skewed a little bit because they beat Highlands a couple weeks ago 71-20. But you put 71 up against the Highlands Bluebirds.
Yeah.
I mean, they beat North Bullitt 56-19. They beat their nemesis Lafayette 31-21, who tonight will face the Moeller Crusaders. And then last week, speaking of the Crusaders, Moeller went down and beat them 38-28 down in Georgetown, as in a game in which Moeller, kind of took over and, jumped on them early, couple turnovers. They built up a 14-0 lead and were able to hang on and survive and beat this Scott County team. But Scott County put 28 up against the Moeller Crusaders, and this is probably the best offense LaSalle has seen all season long. You see the Lancers come on to the field, being led by a couple of the military guys and the U.S. flag, along with the LS flag. And you'll see the Lancer players now going over to shake hands with the veterans. And a great sight here tonight at Lancer Stadium as these two teams meet for the first time ever. As I had mentioned before, this is the largest school in the state of Kentucky, close to 2,500 students. They're in the largest school division in 6A. They were state champs back in 2013 when they went undefeated 15-0. Marty, the last 3 years, this team has advanced to the state semifinals. So this is a team year in and year out is one of the top 3 or 4 schools in the state of Kentucky in their biggest school division. And LaSalle's got a heck of an opponent here at Lancer Stadium this evening.
Yeah, I know Coach McLaughlin's looking forward to this challenge, and this is the kind of game that'll get you ready for the upcoming GCL schedule. And before we even get to that, we're going to have a heck of a game here at Lancer Stadium next week as well.
Yeah, Winton Woods Warriors, who are undefeated. They're sitting at 3-0. They play a Canadian team tonight, so you expect they'll be coming in here undefeated. And I tell you what, this looks like one of Winton Woods' better teams they've had in a couple of years. And this is with Winton Woods having beaten Elder the past 2 seasons. And the interesting thing is that Scott County has also seen the Elder Panthers. They played Elder in 2015 and 2016, and Elder beat Scott County both times. So Scott County looking for their first ever win against a GCL opponent. Beautiful night here for football, Marty. We've been blessed with the home games of the weather that we have had. A little warm up here in the booth. But as soon as that sun goes down and it's just about behind the trees, it's going to be a glorious night for football here at Lancer Stadium.
The Lancers in their red tonight, and Scott County in all white with red helmets. And we are just probably moments away from the kickoff.
Between this LaSalle looking to extend the school record 14-game winning streak and has won 8 straight here at Lancer Stadium. And Marty, this has become a place that LaSalle just doesn't lose much at here since this streak has started of the 3 consecutive state titles. And this is a tough place for an opponent to come into play, especially if you've never been here before.
That's right.
So we will see Jake Siebert out there coming out to kick things off and get us underway here as we get a little later start. Gave Scott County extra time to get down here tonight. And I kind of like the 7:30 start, I gotta say.
Yeah, I do too, Jeff.
Gives folks
Gives some of us getting away from work a chance to maybe grab a sandwich before we step up here, huh? Siebert,
it's always a nice thing.
Siebert's going to line this one up at the near hash.
Back deep for the Scott County Cardinals is tailback Bryce Fryman and their wide receiver, who also goes both ways, that we'll talk a lot about tonight, to number 14, Glen Covington. And the Lancers and Scott County, as LaSalle faces a Kentucky opponent for the first time since 2012. And that will be a touchback. And the Cardinals come out at the 20-yard line. Marty, this is a wing-ting-based offense, very similar to what we saw last week with West Claremont. If you remember last year in the playoff games, all Edgewood was very similar to what we're going to see with this Scott County offense. They're led by senior quarterback Josh Davis, 6'1", 180-pound senior. At wingback is number 3, Bryce Fryman. Your other wingback, number 12, Peyton Brown. And at fullback, 5'8", 185-pound junior, number 20, Austin Barnett. So this alignment that you see now, that offset look with the 2 backs, is a set that you will see a bunch tonight from the Scott County team. At tight end is number 18, Landon Easley. Wide receiver number 14, Glen Covington. Up front for the Scott County Cardinals, left tackle is number 71, Brian Hudson. Left guard, number 54, Cameron Carpenter. Center, number 50, Tino Trevino. Right guard, number 58, Nick Hickey. And at right tackle, number 53 is Peyton Saunders. Here is handoff. Bryce Fryman, he's still on his feet as he makes a couple guys miss, showing off great speed. Craig Wills will finally knock him out of bounds at the 35-yard line. And Marty, right there was the longest gain on the ground the opponent has had all season long against this Lancer defense.
Yeah, and there were just some missed tackles in that. Again, fooled maybe a little bit by the misdirection, but I missed who it was for the Lancers. Had a great shot, one-on-one shot to wrap him up, and just missed.
This team is very deceptive offensively as to who has the ball. It is very hard to tell, as they are so well at disguising who has the ball. This time it's Barnett, the fullback, up the middle. And Marty will let you check the Lancer starting defense.
Up front for the Lancers, number 94, senior Adrian Crawford. In the middle, number 43, senior Jacob Newton. And on the other end, number 17, senior Zach Rumpke. At linebacker, number 27, sophomore Luke Thiemann. Number 19, junior Brody Ingold. Number 16, junior Garrett Bledsoe. And number 5, junior Jared Uran.
That was a 43-yard run by Bryce Fryman. This time, we've got a flag on the play as they handed it off to Austin Barnett. We're going to have a sideline warning against Scott County, so that will just be a warning. No penalty yards involved, and that will bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Cardinals.
Defensive backs for the Lancers starting, number 3, senior Shane McNally. Number 2, senior Craig Wills. Number 6, senior Sam Hildebrand. And number 13, senior Dan Hinton. So an experienced defensive backfield for the Lancers.
Certainly is. The offset backs behind Davis. They will fakes the handoff. Same play as they had before. Fryman will come around the side, gets down to the 20-yard line, a gain of 7. And Marty, that's how they had the 45-yard run before, faking it to the fullback and having Fryman come back around. And
Davis does a nice job of disguising these handoffs, Jeff. I'll be honest, from here, I can't tell who's got the ball.
It's the best I've ever seen of any of these wing teams that we've seen, and we've seen a bunch come through here. He is the best I have seen in disguising the ball. 1st and 10 at the Lancer 20. LaSalle has gone 21 straight quarters without giving up an offensive touchdown, and it's in jeopardy right now. Fakes the handoff to Barnett. Davis keeps it. Uran misses the tackle, and he is knocked down near the 10-yard line. Lucky that he did not, and that was Garrett Bledsoe did not get called for a late hit.
And they're going to give him the first down, and it will be
1st and goal at the 10.
Yep.
Marty, it was the regional finals against Miamisburg. Is the last time in the 3rd quarter of that game, the last time anybody scored an offensive touchdown. Scott County 10 yards away from doing that right now. So Davis is under center. Same play again. Here comes Davis around from the backside in that wing position, and he will pick up a couple yards. And Marty, right now, that has become their bread and butter play. And it's 2nd and goal now at the 8.
Lancers going to hope to bow their back here inside the 10-yard line.
Well, they bring that back in motion after they fake that ball to the fullback, and he comes around after a great play fake, and it's tough defensively to see who has that ball. Davis is under center. Up the middle, getting down to the 5-yard line goes Austin Barnett. And it'll be 3rd and goal from the 5. As you look at this Scott County team, Marty, they've got 4 guys that have carried the ball 10 or more times in this season. So they really do give a lot of different carries to different guys. But Bryce Fryman, number 3, is their workhorse. He's got 45 carries in the season for 586 yards and 3 touchdowns. He averages 14 yards a game, and he's already got that 45-yard gain. Big 3rd down here at the 5-yard line for the Cardinals. Here comes Barnett around the left side. He's going to go in. Peyton Brown untouched as Marty, they simply ran the play to the opposite side. Faked the ball to the fullback, and Brown came from that wingback position, and Brown goes in untouched for the touchdown.
And Jeff, I can't tell her that. I mean, the Lancers, I guess, are just not staying at home on the side for that play. Because you're right, Jeff, he was untouched. It looked like everybody on that Lancer defense went for the up man.
Extra point up and good by Colin Dempster. And with 8:02 left in the first quarter, it's Scott County 7, LaSalle nothing. Marty, you see how tough this is and why this team puts up 46 points a game. But really the main thrust of that drive was that fake to the fullback, and that wingback comes in motion and gets that second handoff.
Yeah,
After the fake handoff, and that just worked with big chunks of yards.
Even the handoff to the fullback is netting them 4 or 5 yards a carry, Jeff. So it's all working right now for Scott County, and the Lancers are going to have to try to recover on the sideline and figure out how to stop this misdirection.
That was a 9-play, 80-yard drive. It took 3 minutes and 58 seconds off the clock. And we've not seen a team do that in a long time, Marty, go against this Lancer defense, go straight down the field and punch it in the end zone. So we will see how the Lancer offense responds. Colin Dempster into kickoff for Scott County, back deep for the Lancers. Number 6, Sam Hildebrand, and number 2, Craig Wills. Hildebrand will take it at the 6. Up to the 20, the 30, still on his feet. A nice return for Sam Hildebrand as he pushes his way up to the 38-yard line. And that's where Griffin Merritt will lead his team onto the field. Griffin Merritt, the senior QB for the Lancers. Tailback is number 24, sophomore Cam Porter. At fullback is a 6'2", 204-pound junior Deion Campbell. Tight end is number 81, Josh Wiley. Your 2 wide receivers, number 11, Jake Siebert, and number 8 is fellow senior Jake Roberts.
Luke Dashley, number 88, is in at receiver right now also.
Cam Porter up the middle. Nothing there is the interior of that line, defensive line, waiting for the sophomore tailback. Up front for the Lancers at left tackle is number 65, Dominic Giovanetti. Left guard, number 78, John Broxterman. Center is number 51, Andrew Yeager. Right guard is number 58, Markel Harden. And at right tackle, we're number 67, Dan Ratterman. Griffin Merritt, pass complete to Josh Wiley, and Wiley is thrown out of bounds by free safety Connor Robb, but not before the Lancers pick up 13 and a first down.
Nice job by the offensive line and giving Griffin a nice pocket to get comfortable in and aim that ball well down the center seam.
Scott County comes out in the 3-4 defense, and boy, if Siebert can catch that one, he's got some running room as he had that corner. Connor Robb, the free safety, trying to get over there, Cooper Robb wasn't quite over there in time. And Marty, that had big yards written all over it. 2nd and 10, Lancers are into Cardinal territory at the 48-yard line. Hand off to Porter. Makes the man miss, goes around the right side, the 40, the 35. And Marty, was that eerily similar to a Jeremy Larkin move out there to make that man miss on that side who had a one-on-one look at the sophomore tailback and who completely whiffed.
Lancers quickly back to the line of scrimmage.
Saw this last week as they went in warp speed for a lot of that game against West Claremont. Here is number 28 on the end around, down the 25 and pushed out of bounds is freshman, and yes, I said freshman, getting his first carry of the season, Devontae Smith. And Marty, they are very high on him as he is a speedster from all accounts of what I've heard, and he gets 8 at 2nd and 2. Cam Porter going up the middle, picks his way up, still on his feet, powers his way down to the 18-yard line. And Marty, this Lancer offense put together a nice drive.
Yeah, Porter did a nice job of, as you said, picking his way through the line. Didn't seem like there was much there, but a couple of jitterbug steps here and there picked up a first down for the Lancers.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. They fake the reverse. Cam Porter keeps the ball and will be drugged down inside the 10
That's
at
a nice
the 8.
gain. About a 6-yard, 7-yard gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4. Marty, this is a Scott County team that can be very generous defensively. They come into this game giving up 24 points a game. Quick pass out in the flat to Cam Porter. He's got the 10, the 5. He dives forward to the first down to the 2-yard line. Marty, when I thought he caught that, I thought he was going in the end zone.
Lancers quickly back to the line of scrimmage.
5 receiver set here. Do we see a quarterback draw? We do. Griffin Merritt up the middle and touchdown. Lancers from 2 yards out. Griffin Merritt with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season. And LaSalle responds right away, and they're an extra point away from tying this game up.
We've got a Lancer down in the end zone, one of the offensive linemen. We'll see who that is when he gets up. But yeah, what a great drive. What a great answer by this Lancer offense after they see Scott County just march down the field running the football. Lancers use a balanced attack to get it downfield.
Boy, that's an area that the Lancers can least afford an injury, as they are not very deep on that offensive line. They've already lost one of their, who is going to be their projected starting
I think this might be the long snapper.
And that's Dan Ratterman, the Lancers starting right tackle, 6', 292-pound senior that is coming off the field.
So number 91 is Anthony Miners. He's a sophomore, and he will come in, it looks, to do the long snapping.
What makes it a little bit more interesting on the one that Jake Siebert is, he is 5 of 6 on the season. The lone one he missed was a bad snap. This snap is good, and Siebert blasts it through. And with 6:02 left in the first quarter, it's LaSalle 7 and Scott County 7. That was a 9-play, 62-yard drive. Took 1:51 off the clock and punctuated by a 2-yard touchdown run by senior quarterback Griffin Merritt.
And Jeff, I think with so many players going both ways for this Scott County team, it might be advantageous for the Lancers to run this quick no-huddle offense, kind of keep them on their heels. The big guy who's the defensive end, number 71, Brian Hudson, is also the left tackle. I mean, that's a lot of work right there to play left tackle and to play defensive end.
It's interesting you mentioned.
And he's a big boy.
He is he's ranked as the 3rd best prospect in the state of Kentucky. He has been offered by the likes of a school called Alabama, Ohio State, Florida, Kentucky, Louisville, and a host of other schools, and really is considered the best offensive line prospect in the state of Kentucky. He also won the shot put and discus in track and field last year. He won the shot put by 6 feet. He is a heck of an athlete. Jake Siebert dribbles one down. The ball is loose, picked up, and straight up the middle is Bryce Fryman. He's got an angle, cuts it back to the inside, gets it out to the 48-yard line. And Marty, I think if he doesn't cut that back, he might go to the house with it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the danger sometimes when there's a muffed kick, that it kind of screws up all the lanes and the assignments. And it hurt the Lancers and certainly benefited the Cardinals there, as Fryman didn't hesitate once he picked up the fumble.
Now, I mean, Fryman, I tell you, is not very big. 5'9". They list him at 5'9", 165. But man, oh man, can he fly? That a guy that comes in averaging 14 yards a carry. And I had checked that 3 times to make sure that was straight. Same look from the Scott County team. They
Up
have
the middle.
that time to Barnett, the fullback, and he powers forward for about 3 yards to bring up 2nd and 7. But just wonder what adjustments this Lancer defense has made to that handoff to the wingback coming in motion that they had a lot of success with in that first drive. 5:30 and counting, first quarter. We're tied at 7. Handoff to Fryman around the right side. And boy, he is not hit or touched until he's picked up a first down. And Fryman right now has got a lot of running room on as he comes around the end.
Nick Hickey, the guard for Scott County, was well downfield, paving a path.
Garrett Bledsoe and Brody Engel and Lancer's 2 linebackers in on the tackle. This is a Scott County team that comes in averaging 339 yards a game on the ground. So this is a team that can pick up chunks of yards. Here's a quick pitch to Fryman around the left side. This time, nowhere to go. Craig Wills was first in on the tackle. Was there a fumble?
Lancers are claiming they have the football.
What are the officials going to say? No signal. And now they have said the Lancers have recovered. Well, I tell you what, Marty, that took them forever to make that call.
Craig Wills was the Lancer who stripped the ball. Give Wills credit for the strip. And I think that was number 27, Thiemann, that fell on it.
Oh, is that who it was? I had a hard time myself trying to see who had fallen on that fumble. But Marty, this has been an advantageous Lancer defense as they have forced now. That's the 4th fumble they've forced this season. Here's Cam Porter, and he is smothered. By one of the guy that we just got talking about, Brian Hudson, 6'5", 300-pound junior.
Now we have a Cardinal who's down.
Trying to see if Dan Ratterman is not in the game right now. He's got his shoe off on the sidelines. And we'll see if we see the Lancer right tackle come back into the game. He's running up and down the sidelines. As coming in to replace Ratterman at right tackle for this Lancer team, the guy that we don't even have on the roster. We'll have to try to figure out who number 62 is. And we do not have a number. So an unknown guy is in there at tackle for the Lancers. And we'll try to figure out who that is as soon as we possibly can. So it's 2nd and 12 for the Lancers at their own 38. Merritt rolls to the side. He's looking deep. He's got a man. Hildebrand. Or that's Jake Roberts to the 15 and down to the 11-yard line. A huge pitch and catch for this Lancer offense.
A great pass. Griffin Merritt floated it right into the arms of Jake Roberts. Those two guys played together at St. James in grade school, and that connection.
49-yard connection, the longest of the season for the Lancers. Porter up the middle for a short gain. But that double move, I mean, you could see Roberts go out, fake the out, and then went up the field and beat his man. And that's those explosive plays that Coach McLaughlin has been looking for out of this Lancer offense.
Dan Ratterman checked back in.
That's good to see.
But unfortunately, Jake Roberts just checked out, and they're looking at his shoulder.
Wonder if something happened there when he got tackled at the very end of that play. 3:46 left in this first quarter. Marty, we've had a lot of action. It's 7-7 here at Lancer Stadium.
You're not kidding. Compared to the second half of last week's game, Jeff, it was like watching paint dry.
Nothing happened with that running clock in that second half against West Claremont. Salle Athletic Department is proud to announce Bill Mathis as the new lacrosse coach. Bill comes to LaSalle with over 40 years of experience with lacrosse. Bill was just introduced to players and families this past Monday at a meeting. And we want to welcome in Bill Mathis to the Lancer family as he is now the new head lacrosse coach here at LaSalle High School.
Lancers come back out, 2nd down and 9.
Griffin Merritt looking to get the signs in from Jeff Weirman, who signals the plays in from the sideline. Merritt looks, throws.
Uh-oh.
The ball was deflected.
He caught it.
Josh Wiley caught it with one hand. Boy, I tell you what, a fortuitous bounce for the Lancers there, which could have been disaster. Zane Wilson, the outside linebacker for the Cardinals, was the one that deflected it. It's now 3rd and 7. Lancers need to get to the 2 for a first down.
They've got one-on-one coverage at the top.
Roberts, quick pitch to Porter around the right side. Can he make the man miss? Number 32
Nope.
does not. That's the top tackler on this team. Middle linebacker Burke Watts, who comes in with 41 tackles on the season, is able to corral Cam Porter, and he was the only guy that prevented Cam from going into the end zone.
So the field goal unit comes on. Jake Siebert will make this attempt. It'll be a 24-yard attempt, and it'll come from the far hash.
Jake is a perfect 3 of 3 on the season in field goal tries. Snap is good. The kick is up, and
No
it
good.
is also.
Nope.
No,
It
he
looked
missed it
right.
wide right.
Yeah, it looked right from here.
Marty, I think it was from that far hash. He didn't quite get enough of a kick back to the middle, and the Lancers are turned away on that drive, and a big defensive stop after the 49-yard pickup on the pass from Griffin Merritt to Jake Roberts, and the Lancers come up empty on that drive. And that's got to be a big pick-me-up for that Scott County Cardinal defense.
And they'll actually start the possession from the 20-yard line as the kick was inside the 20.
And that is the rule at the high school level, is if it's inside the 20 and the field goal is missed, it goes to the 20-yard line. 2:57 left in this first quarter. We're glad you found us here on YouTube and also on the LaSalle Athletics webpage. I'm Jeff Bossi. Alongside of me is Marty Strohoffer. Hand off to Fryman around that right end again. He's finding some running room before he is greeted by number 18, Chase Campbell.
Some nice pursuit by Brody Engel. Got him around the shoulder pads and slowed him down.
Campbell with a nice tackle for the Lancers. It'll bring up 2nd and 6. Yeah, I'm not seeing Brody Engel in the game right now.
No, I see Engel,
Or
19. It's
Garrett Bledsoe.
Garrett
that's
Bledsoe
not in the
who's
game
not
at
in.
the moment.
Yeah, he's standing right there on the sideline
Looks
next
like
to the coach.
Looks like he's healthy. Just
Yeah.
coach decided to go with some different personnel here on this 2nd and 6. The Scott County has taken their second timeout of the first half. 2:22 to play. We're tied at 7. And Marty, you got a special guest to talk to here at halftime tonight.
Yeah, we'll have Principal Aaron Marshall will come up and join me here in the press box, and we'll find out from LaSalle's second-year principal kind of what are the comings and goings here at LaSalle High School.
He is The main man in charge. It seems like there's more than one of them because he seems to be at every event. He is everywhere.
There's no doubt about it.
I may have to ask him if he's got a twin.
I've seen him at soccer games. I see him here at all the football games. Everywhere I turn around.
He never misses. So 2nd and 6. A little bit same formation for the Cardinals.
Fake the handoff up the middle. Fryman.
Here around the side, the Lancers adjusted much better that time to it. As Fryman came around, and they were waiting for him that time, and I figured the Lancers would make some adjustments after seeing that play so much in that first drive. And we're running up 3rd and 5.
Now it wouldn't surprise me to see them try a pass play.
They threw the ball 14 times last week against Moeller, but that was kind of out of character for them. They usually only average about 5-6 passes a game. And when they do throw, it's usually to number 14, Glen Covington. And they are going to throw the ball.
Fryman.
Down the middle to Fryman. And I'm not sure exactly what Dan Hinton was doing. Hitting him as the ball was in the air, and a very easy pass interference call.
Well, you know, Fryman pulled up. He didn't even attempt to reach out and catch that. It looks like he just went to absorb the hit. But you're right.
I'm not
Hinton
sure what he was
I don't
doing.
think Hinton knew where the ball was.
Yeah, if he lets him go, that's going to be well over the head of Fryman. Kind of a curious play there by the senior free safety for the Lancers. That will give Scott County a first down at the 41-yard line. Marty, last thing you want to do is allow these guys to stay on the field. You want to, because they are so hard to defend and so deceptive with this wing T offense. You don't want to give these guys additional chances. Davis under center, hands the ball to Barnett around the right side, and boy, he's chugging forward, and he's going to get 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 1. And Marty, it's really just been 2 plays that they've run. That quick handoff to the fullback, and then the faking to the fullback, and then the deep handoff to the wingback coming in motion. That's just been pretty much the whole thing so far, and they've been able to generate a lot of movement on the ground against this Lancer defense. Under 50 seconds and counting here in the first quarter. Fryman's going to go back, or Davis going back to pass, throwing long downfield, well over the head of his intended receiver, Glen Covington. Sam Hildebrand on the coverage for the Lancers. Sam this week has committed to play football next year at Bucknell. And, Marty, that's not an easy school to get into.
The Bucknell Bison?
That is it. Are they in the Ivy League or is that I don't think that's an Ivy League.
I don't think it's an Ivy League
it's,
school.
It's right. It ain't far.
Up in upstate New York, right?
It's not far off from being an Ivy League school. A well-known academic institution. Congratulations to Sam. Austin Barnett will.
Boy, that's going to be a close spot,
I think
Jeff.
on that second effort is going to get himself.
Boy, I'll tell you, and
first
the
down.
official continues to. Boy, that was a bit of a fortuitous spot there. But that will be enough for a first down. Boy, they gave him a generous spot.
Very generous spot there.
I thought he might have been really close, but boy, they gave it to him by half a yard.
Boy, it was a late effort by Barnett because he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, and Marty, Lancer defense just not finishing off what they normally do against teams, letting guys slip out of tackles. And this drive, because of that, this drive continues.
It's 12.
Peyton Brown, who had the touchdown, brought down right at the line of scrimmage, and that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. And your score here at LaSalle, Scott County 7, and the Lancers 7. And Marty, that Scott County team rushed for 107 yards in that first quarter. Lancers only give up on average 115 a game.
Yeah, well, they've been very effective in this first quarter. Now, you're right, Jeff. It seems like the Lancers have made some adjustments here, and we haven't seen any big plays since that first drive, knock on wood.
Didn't know, Marty, if you caught the Lancers last night on national TV during the pregame show on the NFL Network as the Lancers team went down there, was running through some defensive plays and formations that the Houston Texans defense was going to run against the Bengals, and the Texans defense is about as effective as we see the Lancers defense night in and night out. It's great to see the Lancers on national TV, and boy, the Bengals.
Yeah, I think it's about the third time the Lancers have been on national TV for Bengals broadcasts. Great treat for the young men who got a chance to go down and be on the field and meet Michael Irvin. I saw a tweet from Michael Irvin. Said something about just hanging out with champions. And he had 5 trophies on the tweet. I think he won 2 and the Lancers have won 3. So maybe that's how he added them up.
Boy, with Michael Irvin, you're not sure exactly what he might be talking about at all times. He is definitely an entertaining individual. 2nd and 10.
Quarterback's got
Davis still has it, and he's going to be brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Zach Rumpke and Jared Uran in on it. And Marty, that time a little bit, it almost looked like that ball was supposed to be handed off, and it was a missed handoff, it almost looked like in the backfield. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, the pocket collapsed very quickly, and Davis looked like he just wanted to get out of the way. You know, I'll tell you, this is curious to me, Jeff. We've seen other schools like this where the quarterback between every play runs all the way to the sideline to get the play and back. I mean, that's a lot of running back and forth. I've got a thing about that. I don't know what it is, Jeff.
Wearing the guy out for no reason. And we've got a flag.
I think that's movement on the offense.
I think you're correct on that. That's going to cost them 5 and going to put them in a very tough 3rd down predicament. It'll be 3rd and 14.
But what is that, Jeff? I mean, that's 20 yards?
Every play.
On every play, back and forth, 30 yards maybe.
Where you could just,
why don't you just bring it in from somebody else who's coming into the game?
That makes all, especially if you get down to the 5-yard line.
I can't remember who we saw that against a year ago here at Lancer Stadium, Jeff, but it was a quarterback who ended up playing both ways, and the poor guy's running between plays to the sideline to get the play.
Yeah, I'm not. I agree with you on that. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Davis under center. Hand off to Fryman around that right side. Gets past a tackle by Brody Engel, who would have had him at the line of scrimmage and said it's going to make it 4th and 5.
This is in a spot where they may go for it, Jeff.
And Marty, it's hard to tell if they're going to go for it or punt because their punter is also the quarterback. So it can be very tough to tell what they're going to do because of that. But it looks like
they're bringing in 6 guys from the sideline.
It looks like the punt team is coming in. But you got to be very careful of a fake when the quarterback is the punter. Lancers have got 2 guys back deep, Sam Hildebrand and Craig Wills. Marty, you never know with Lancer return if it's going to be 1 guy or 2 guys back there. That seems varied all year. Davis, punt down the sidelines, very nice job. No return, goes out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it.
I think it's about the 9-yard line.
See how good your eyes still are here. The official, they've screwed this up. The referee has stopped looking. He doesn't know now, Marty. They don't know where to put the ball.
No, it's not the 5-yard line.
They don't know. He does not. That's terrible, Marty. He put his head down, and the referee started jogging up the field. And
no, I think they got it right. It's on the 9-yard line.
Now they're going to move it. Okay. Originally that was
12-yard line, even better.
Originally that was way off, and the problem is the side judge has got to have the official
mark it. Right.
The referee marked where it was, and the ref was looking away. So thankfully they got that corrected. The Lancers would have been starting 7 yards farther back. So it's 1st and 10. The Lancers back in near their own end zone. Cam Porter with the handoff, and he's got nowhere to go.
Well, you just can't stutter step too much in that backfield. I know you kind of look for a spot, and the offensive line didn't bring him one.
Zane Wilson, that outside linebacker for Scott County on the tackle. It's a Scott County team that gives up 358 yards a game. So they are a pretty generous defense. 2nd and 12. Merritt back to pass, looking, fakes the handoff.
Better get rid of it.
And he's going to be sacked inside the 5-yard line. They're going to mark him back at the 2, and Marty, he just cannot take a sack back there. He's got to throw that away.
Yeah, I think he was unaware of the pressure that was in front of him. And now they've got a long way to go. They need to get to the 22-yard line for a first down.
It's 3rd and 18. And they're at their own 2-yard line. They're in trouble here, Marty. You got to be in a Merritt will go back to pass from his end zone.
Better throw it.
He better get rid of it. He's running with the ball, fires, and it's knocked away, incomplete. Looking for junior wide receiver Luke Dashley. Ball was knocked away by cornerback Sam Sutton.
Now a dangerous punt from the 2-yard line.
Boy, I tell you what, Drew Neiman comes in. And Marty, it's kind of surprised they didn't try to run the ball out and get a little bit better position to punt, because now Drew doesn't even have the proper amount of distance to punt the ball. Scott County's got 10 guys on the line. They look like they're going after this punt, and we got a flag. It's against the Lancers.
Yeah, it's got to be against the Lancers.
They can't
It
go
won't be
back
too much of
farther.
a penalty.
No, offsides on Scott County.
Well, that gives them a little breathing room.
That's a big help there, because now Drew Neiman can take his full drop that he needs to punt. Glen Covington back at the 45-yard line for Scott County, but still 10 guys on the line. They look like they're coming after Neiman. And they are, and he just barely gets that off.
And a good punt.
Great punt. Covington fumbles the ball and
fumbles it out of bounds.
Yeah, he could not pick it back up at the 43-yard line, but what a punt.
What a great punt.
Out from his own 7-yard line, about a 37-yard punt. But, I mean, with extreme pressure, 10 guys coming after you, that was big for the Lancer junior punter, Drew Neiman.
The Scott County will have excellent field position on the Lancer side of the 50-yard line.
They gained about 4 or 5 yards in that changeover in possessions there from where their last drive had ended up at. Hand off to Barnett, up the middle, and he's going nowhere this time. As the Lancers starting to figure out this Scott County offense as he is stopped in his tracks. And it will be 2nd and 9. What do you kind of feel like Lancers are starting to adapt to this offense?
Yeah, I mean, it took a series, because on that first series, it was the Cardinals were having their way.
Running through Swiss cheese, it looked like, on that first drive. Here's Fryman around the right side. This has been the play that's been working for big yards. And
even still, he only
time.
gets a couple.
Yeah, they shut him down. He comes in averaging 147 yards a game. And this is a guy that's putting up numbers that are pretty impressive. It's 3rd and 8. 7-10 and counting here in the second quarter. We are tied at 7. Expect them to put the ball up here. We've got an equipment timeout. something with wide receiver Glen Covington as he gets sent to the sidelines. Not sure what the official saw, but whatever it was, he is being sent to the sidelines. And they're going to have to substitute for their senior wide receiver, and that will be with Cooper Robb, who also is the starting free safety. Now they've got 3, and depending on the game, 4 guys that will go both ways for Scott County. And you'd expect now, Marty, with their number 1 wide receiver not in the game, kind of expecting a running play here now.
Boy, this little trickery here. They had a guy come onto the field over to the right near their sideline and had Fryman run off the field late. See what they do here.
Cooper Robb has got the ball. Looks like he wanted to throw it. He is going to throw it. Josh Davis back to the quarterback. He'll be tackled by Willis. And did Wills get the ball stripped in time? They're going to say no.
I think that's the right call.
I do too.
So the Lancers had that sniffed out. They had Robb by the legs, but he was able to get the pass away, and Davis was wide open. I told you a little trickery was coming on that play, Jeff.
And Marty, the interesting thing is Cooper Robb wasn't in the game initially until Covington had to go out with the equipment problem. So they changed the play when he came into the game. So kind of an interesting call by longtime head coach Jim McKee. Here's that handoff to Fryman. Jared Uran gets out there and loses him. But Sam Hildebrand finishes him off after a couple. And Marty, that's kind of been the thing now. The Lancers are sniffing that out, but not able to drop him at the line of scrimmage. And that will give him 3 yards, and it's 2nd and 7. Jim McKee is in his 23rd year as the head coach of Scott County. Marty, check this out for a record. 210-66.
That's getting it done.
And a state title back in 2013 when they went undefeated and went 15-0. 2nd and 7. Inside handoff to Barnett. Tell you what, Barnett is for a guy that's just $185, he is a strong runner inside. As he gets hit and he pushes himself forward, Brody Engel on the tackle for the Lancers. 3rd and 5, 4:40 and counting left here in what has been a very entertaining first half.
This is a big play, Jeff.
Yeah. Backs are in that same offset formation that we've seen all night long. Josh Davis under center, coming in motion is Robb. Davis is back to pass. The lefty fires, and it's picked off! Craig Wills again! Marty, Lancers have intercepted 4 passes this season. Craig Wills has got all 4 of them.
Wills looked like he knew where that was going and baited that throw. Stepped right in front of it. Great awareness by the senior.
This Lancer defense, or this Lancer crowd, roaring its approval as the Lancers turn Scott County away. 4:18 left. Here in this first half, we're still tied at 7. Here's Cam Porter up the middle, finds some running room, and he is slammed down at the 15-yard line. Give him 8.
That's the kind of explosiveness we know that Cam Porter has, and he saw a hole that time. That was the difference, Jeff.
We've seen it glimpses out of him, and still just a sophomore, and he is just going to continue to get better. Porter again up the middle, and he powers his way up to the 20-yard line, a first down. And Marty, he is deceptively strong. They say he's one of the stronger guys on this team.
Now we're going to see it. We're going to see a wildcat because Griffin just walked out of the game.
Did he? We have not seen this all season long. Cam Porter is in at the quarterback position. You got to think this is a running play. And it is. Porter keeps the ball, goes around the right side, and oh, man.
Boy, if Jake Roberts held that block 1 second longer.
Cooper Robb with the tackle. If not, there isn't anybody on that side of the field. Gains 5. Griffin Merritt right back into the game. He is in the pistol. Porter's behind him. You get 2 receivers to the far side. And to the near side is number 81, Josh Wiley.
He's being double teamed.
And very quiet night so far by the UC commit.
Oh,
wow.
He got whacked.
Marty, that was number 71, Brian Hudson. And boy, we know that he's one of the best linemen in the state of Kentucky. Boy, they might want to look at him as a defensive lineman after that tackle. That kind of was reminiscent of what we saw Geno Atkins do last night to a Texans running back. Pass down the middle. Jake Siebert's got it at the 45-40. It's a foot race. Cooper Robb chasing him. Will he get there? They're going to
mark
say
him down
he's
at the
down
1.
at the 2-yard line. Another explosive play for this Lancer passing game.
And Jeff, that pass was just a little bit behind him. Siebert did a great job adjusting, reaching back to grab it so that the defender couldn't knock it away. Great catch by Siebert.
Lancers quickly back to the line of scrimmage here. 1st and goal at the 2. Merritt is in the pistol. Cam Porter is the back.
And they're making them wait until they can place the down marker.
Yeah, that was what delayed the game, is they were waiting for him to get all the way down the field. Hand off to Porter. He is
nice
hit,
spin move.
and he's into the end zone. He slid off a couple of defenders at the 2-yard line and gets into the end zone for a Lancer touchdown. And LaSalle has its first lead of the night. It's 13-7.
Great second effort there by Porter as he was met at the line of scrimmage, did a nice little spin move, and dove into the end zone. He's got a nose for the end zone, Jeff.
He does. That is the 3rd touchdown of the season for Cam Porter. The extra point is blasted through by Jake Siebert. 2:18 to play, first half, and the Lancers lead 14-7. And Marty, the big play obviously on that drive, the 79-yard hookup from Griffin Merritt to sophomore Jake Siebert.
It's another St. James connection right there.
Well, there are St. James kids all over this Lancer offense.
Griffin got just enough on that pass, and as I said earlier, Siebert made a nice kind of correction or reached back to haul it in. It's a great catch. Great pass.
Griffin Merritt now 5 of 7 for 145 yards. Cam Porter 13 carries, 51 yards, and a touchdown. As this Lancer offense, Marty, is starting to, it's coming together. And it's connecting on what Coach Pat McLaughlin's been looking for. And those are big plays. And they've hit on a couple here in this first half.
Siebert back into kickoff. The enthusiasm is picked up in the Lancer cheering section.
Big Lancer cheering section down there, dressed in the red, white, and blue. Kind of a U.S.-themed night.
Perfect for our military tribute tonight.
That was the reason for it, for the Lancer students out there. Siebert
nice high
kickoff.
kick. That's going in the end zone.
In the end zone for a touchback. And Marty, you've put Scott County now in tough sledding here. Way back at their own 20-yard line with running this wing T offense, which, you know, it's tough picking up, you know, and going that length of going 80 yards with that amount of time on it and just one timeout.
Well, you know, the Lancers are going to, you know, continue to stress staying in your lanes, staying at home.
And I think
you control this team and stay where you need to be.
Just cut off that Fryman.
That sweep.
That sweep play has been their most effective play of the night.
Up the middle.
Barnett, not much there, and the Lancers will get a quick timeout. Coach Pat
Oh,
McLaughlin.
boy. Oh, boy.
He wants another shot offensively. And Marty,
I would have liked to see that one get to third down.
So the clock stops with 2:11 left in the first half. I kind of thought this was going to happen because I saw Coach McLaughlin right before that play go over and talk to the side judge. And I think that's what he was telling him, hey, I'm looking to get a timeout.
Timeout Cardinals.
And that timeout was taken immediately.
That tells you the kind of confidence that Coach McLaughlin's got in both the offense and the defense. The defense that they can hold them, and the offense that they can make big plays happen.
Some big games across the city of Cincinnati tonight with Coleraine taking on the Sycamore Aviators. You've got St. X down the road hosting Indy Cathedral, and the Moeller Crusaders playing one of Scott County's biggest rivals, Lafayette. And then the big game, I think, in the Kentucky side, Covcath and Beechwood. Covcath maybe the best team in Northern Kentucky, and they are, just got a score update, beating Beechwood 38-0, and they have not hit halftime yet.
It's not as good a game as you thought it was.
Over in Fort Mitchell. Here's that handoff, and the Lancers sniff that out, and he's down at the 15-yard line is Peyton Brown. Quick timeout by the Lancers. It's now 3rd and 14. And Marty, I think they've...
We'll see if this timeout gamble works on this play, Jeff.
2:03 left to play in this first half, and Marty, I think they're starting to figure out that play, as they have been waiting for it the last couple times.
I think that was Bledsoe, right?
It was Bledsoe that time, but Lancers, that terrific group of linebackers. Marty haven't really talked about them tonight. Number 5, Jarrett Uran. Number 16, Garrett Bledsoe. Number 19, Brody Engel. All juniors. All have seen playing time. Bledsoe and Engel played since their freshman year. Uran played a lot last year. And the 4th one is sophomore Luke Thiemann. And that 3 of the 4, Uran, Bledsoe, and Engel, are 3 of the leading tacklers on this Lancer defense, as this 3-4 defense is set up for those guys to make a lot of tackles, and they have done that, and they have been extremely effective this season. 3rd and 14, they have to get to the 30-yard line for a first down. Davis under center. A reverse this time to Covington. And knocking him out of bounds and saving the Lancers a timeout was, who was that? Was that Craig Wills?
I think it is Craig Wills.
Or no, that was Shane McNally.
Yep, you're right, Jeff.
Number
3.
Garrett Bledsoe kind of slowed that play down, didn't quite have the right angle.
But he forced him way outside. And
that allowed
McNally did a nice job of getting off of a block to force that play out of bounds.
They did get 4 yards out of that play, but that can be a big one for them when you run a reverse coming the other way out of that. Davis into punt. And he will hit it, and it'll run out of bounds down
That'll be about
in
the
Lancer
44. That's
territory.
my bet, the 44.
Let's see where they mark it.
Ooh, even better. 50-yard line.
Yep, midfield. Lancers will have 1:47 left, 1 timeout, and that was kind of the benefit of McNally pushing him out of bounds. The Lancers were able to hold on to their final timeout of the half. So they'll come out with 3 receivers to the near side. Jake Roberts is the lone receiver on the far side. Porter's in the backfield. And we've seen this a lot, Marty, where they walk up. Griffin looks at the defense, and they change the play.
Especially on the first play out of the drive.
Yeah. Merritt's going to go back to Pants. Scott County's blitzing. Siebert with a great catch Did he
Nope,
have it?
nope,
He had
nope.
it and then dropped it.
Boy, it
Boy.
looked like when he hit the ground he had it, but wasn't able to control it all the way in. That would have been a heck of a catch.
Boy, that was. I mean, a very talented sophomore, Marty. You don't normally see the combination wide receiver / place kicker. But that is what Jake Siebert is.
I think the Lancers have found the hole in this defense, Jeff.
Right down the middle. And LaSalle has been hitting on big plays down the field. As you can see, Scott County is bunched up defensively, Marty. I mean, they've got
Everybody within 5 yards.
Yeah, and I think that's why LaSalle's been taking shots down the field. Merritt on the slant to Dashley. He's got the ball and a first down. Fights down to the 35-yard line, a gain of 15. The clock will stop momentarily with 1:35.
Lancers are going to have to wait.
And now we're going to have another
No,
timeout,
timeout.
Scott County. Their final timeout of the first half.
And it looks like this Lancers kind of fast-paced, no-huddle offense is causing a bit of concern on the other sideline.
Absolutely is. I mean, it's something that is, most teams aren't doing this at the high school level. It's funny, you see some of the, I've seen a few games down in Texas, and it seems like it's a law down there that everybody's got to run the no huddle, up speed, at the high school level down there. Up here, you're not seeing a whole lot of that. And down in central Kentucky, I think that's a pretty rare thing to see.
Yeah. Things just tend to go a little slower down there. Jeff, you get a little sweet tea.
Little sweet tea, the horses. A little bit of cow tipping. We're ready to go.
Oh, you had to go there.
First and 10 to 35 for the Lancers. 1:35 left. Merritt is in the pistol. They're going to give it to Cam Porter up the middle. Found the hole, the 30. Makes a man miss to the 25. Still on his feet and finally down at the 20. A nice change-up call there by the Lancers, and the sophomore tailback goes for 15.
Nice vision by Porter.
I think that caught them off guard defensively. Same play. Porter again. He will fall forward down to the 16, a gain of 4.
I like what Porter's doing, Jeff. He's being a little bit more decisive about hitting the hole.
Yeah, I agree with you there. More Jeremy Larkin-like here with the way he's doing that. Quick pass out the flat to Jake Roberts. He's got the ball on a first down, knocked out of bounds. And my gosh, Roberts was driven onto the third lane of the track. Not sure how a late hit was not thrown there.
I thought I saw the side judge signal to keep the clock rolling. It'll stop, of course, to place it for the first down, but they may start this clock again.
How? I mean, he was on the track. And they are going to start the clock. I don't understand that. And I guess they thought his forward momentum had stopped. But still plenty of time for the Lancers. 50 seconds and counting. First and goal at the 8. Some confusion.
Not sure if the coaches understand that the clock
they
is
may
still
not
running.
know. I don't understand it either. Quick pitch to Porter around the left side, looking for some running room.
And the
he's
clock's
still
going to
not out
continue
of
to run.
bounds.
Porter carries the ball around the left side.
And now the Lancers will take their third and final timeout of the half.
Stopped on the play by
And he's down to about the 7-yard line. But, Marty, how was his forward momentum stopped and him not out of bounds on that
Well, I'll tell you,
pass reception?
I actually did see that, Jeff, on Roberts. Instead of going down, he was fighting for more yardage, and he got held up in bounds, actually, and then he got hit out of bounds.
To me, it looked like he was still going forward. His forward momentum had not stopped when he was pushed out of bounds.
Jake needs to maybe be a little more heads up instead of trying to fight for half a yard just to get out of bounds.
Yeah,
at
in that
spot.
situation. Because right now, with 35 seconds left, this may have taken a run option away from the Lancers, because that's going to take a lot of time here on second and goal at the 7. This might be, all you can do in this situation is pass. If not, you're really going to be tempting fate to get additional plays off.
Boy, they've had 2 guys shadowing Wiley the entire game.
And Josh does not have a reception yet. He is by himself
See, look,
over there.
Not anymore. He's going to.
He is down in that corner. They're looking to double him again, but that might be where the pass is going. Merritt throws it up in that corner and over the head of Josh Wiley, and I think the fumbled snap threw off the whole timing of that.
So now it'll be 3rd and goal.
30 seconds left. Jake Siebert checks in. Dion Campbell, junior fullback, checks out. See if we see that same play again, as Wiley was seeing single coverage. Three receivers to the near side. The base offense for the Lancers. Pass! Caught to Siebert! And did he get in? He did! Touchdown! Lancers! 7-yard touchdown pass. Griffin Merritt to Jake Siebert. Siebert's first varsity touchdown.
Just a quick little slant pass from the inside position, Jeff, but Siebert did a nice job of fighting to the end zone.
Yeah, because they waited a while to see if he had gotten into the end zone or not.
He caught it at about the 2-yard line and just had enough muscle to get his way into the end zone. Otherwise, that would have been a rough opportunity to try to get back up to the line of scrimmage. You couldn't have got your field goal team in time.
Now it'd been 4th and goal at the 1, and you would have been scrambling to
You can't down it at 4th down.
You would have been scrambling to try to get
a quarterback sneak or something.
Another play called in that situation. It almost kind of looked like that ball got tipped, because I kind of lost it out of Merritt's hand. And maybe it was just me. And then you see Siebert grab at the 1, and he fought to get that extra yard. And not many guys catch a touchdown pass and then go out and kick the extra point.
Yeah, no kidding. And then come back and kick off?
Yeah, he's a busy guy. That drive there for the Lancers was 8 plays, 50 yards, and took just a minute 23. As Marty, it turned out to be the right call for Coach McLaughlin to take those timeouts on defense and help the Lancers move down the field and score their 3rd touchdown of the half. And with 24 seconds left, LaSalle leads 21-7.
Oh, a little squib kick.
Oh,
boy, I don't understand that.
A nice play there by
number 44.
And that is Ryland Reed, who's not expecting that to happen. And he did a nice job falling backwards and catching that. And I don't think that was exactly what LaSalle was trying to do there.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past Coach McLaughlin to try to get the ball back.
I think he's looking to just have a squib kick down the middle. I don't think he was thinking that the guy in the front was going to get it. Here's the handoff to number 12, Peyton Brown, and he is thrown down in the backfield.
Number 97, that is Jabari Neal Jackson. And that is going to be the last play of the half.
That is going to be the final play of this first half. And LaSalle leads the Scott County Cardinals here at halftime by the score of 21-7. And Marty, boy, did this defense play well after that first drive where Scott County went right down the field and scored. And after that, very little offensively for the Cardinals, and the Lancers defense also with forcing 2 first-half turnovers.
Yeah, boy, you have to give a lot of credit to the Lancer defensive coaching staff of making adjustments at the end after that first drive, because we said it. Scott County came out and it looked like a hot knife through butter.
It sure did. They had 107 yards rushing after that first quarter. did Scott County. It'll be interesting to see what their total looks like here at halftime. But the Lancers offense, Marty, continues to get better and better and better. So if we get a shot, they are...
We are not sure what you're all seeing on the field here, but we're having... It's not it. The Lancers are giving out an award. You got it there? There we go. All right. We'll let you know what's going on out on the field as Kevin Flynn, a Lancer graduate from the class of 1978, is being inducted into the LaSalle Government Hall of Fame. Kevin is a Cincinnati City Councilman and has a unique story that involves personal triumphs and personal heartbreak. But through it all, he's maintained his faith in God, used his past misfortunes to display determination like never seen before. So join us in applauding his incredible dedication and service to the city of Cincinnati.
And he is the brother of former LaSalle Athletic Director Dan Flynn.
Kevin is we've got a shot at it, he's the gentleman in the wheelchair and is a regular fixture here at Lancer football games.
Marty, we looked at we talked about the 107 yards that Scott County had rushing in that first quarter. Second quarter, 12 yards rushing. That Lancer defense made that adjustment after that 80-yard drive. And after that, they've only had 58 yards of offense since that first drive of the game.
That's what I said, Jeff. I mean, of course, you always give the credit to the players. They're the ones that make the tackles and are in the right spot. But I really credit the defensive coaching staff with working through those adjustments.
Absolutely.
And now Kevin Flynn's getting a great round of applause out there.
Absolutely.
He receives his induction plaque into the LaSalle Government Hall of Fame. And we'll also have the Pride of LaSalle coming up here in just a few minutes and hope that
we'll get the
Principal Aaron Marshall gets a chance to come up and visit with us. He's out on the field congratulating Kevin right now.
Marty, I'll let you run over those first half stats and check out what's going on there.
So for the Lancers, 10 first downs in the first half. They had 71 rushing yards on 19 carries and 175 passing yards. That's an impressive first half of passing.
That is.
For a total of 246 offensive yards. Individually, Cam Porter has 16 carries for 71 yards and a touchdown. Devontae Smith, 1 carry for 8 yards. Griffin Merritt is 8 of 12 passing for 175 yards and a touchdown. Jake Seibert, 2 catches, 80 yards and a touchdown. Jake Roberts, 2 catches, 57 yards. Josh Wiley, 2 catches, 16 yards. And Luke Dashley, 1 catch for 15 yards. And for Scott County, they had 7 first downs, 119 yards rushing, 19 yards passing. Just 1 of 3 in passing attempts with an interception for a total of 138 yards of offense. And as the Pride of LaSalle marching band starts to take the field, we'll take a break right now and bring in. Are we ready?
We'll do it after the band.
Okay, that's fine. So then we'll let the cameras go to the Pride of LaSalle marching band, and as soon as the band finishes, we'll have Principal Aaron Marshall. Stay tuned. You're watching LaSalle Lancer football on the LaSalle Broadcasting Network.
Successful 2016 competition campaign. At the end of last season, the Pride of LaSalle traveled to Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis for the Bands of America Grand National Championships. They competed with 99 bands from 20 different states and tied for 7th in the nation in their class. The 3rd time in as many years that they have finished in the top 10.
Tonight, for your halftime enjoyment, the Pride of LaSalle will be performing selections from their 2017 competition show, Leap of Faith. Under the direction of Mr. Angelo Sylvester and Mr. Jonathan Pyrak, we present the Pride of LaSalle. Ladies and gentlemen, the pride of LaSalle.
Back at Buddy LaRosa Field at Lancer Stadium, we're at halftime where the LaSalle Lancers lead Scott County 21-7. And joining me now is LaSalle principal Aaron Marshall. And Aaron, thanks for taking a few minutes here to join us on the broadcast. Just look in the camera there. Smile at all the folks who are watching.
Marty, it's great to be here tonight. It's such a beautiful night here at Lancer Stadium, and you just heard the band play, and the energy here is contagious, and it's just great to see everyone out and about tonight.
Yeah, boy, they're great. They're doing a great job. Not missing a beat with a new band director, and it seems like everything here just kind of keeps picking up and moving on.
Well, you know what, Marty? I mean, LaSalle's been around for 57 years, and we have such a great tradition and history here, and we've had some great people come before all of us. I remind our staff and students of that all the time, that we've had some great people come and really pave the way for someone like me as a principal, but also Angelo Sylvester, our new band director, and so many new faculty and staff members that have come in and just picked up that torch and carried it towards the new future that we're heading towards.
Well, we're about a month into the second school season that you've been here at LaSalle as principal. What's different this year compared to last year when you started your first year at LaSalle as principal?
Well, I think anytime you start a new job, whatever that job might be, you're always more comfortable your second year, and that's no different for me. I've had a chance to really get to know our staff and students that much better, and at the same time really establish those expectations that we're all going to follow moving forward. So we've had a chance to work together now for a year, and we've begun some really good work. And that's continuing as we speak, and we've laid a great foundation to move forward. And as a staff, we've talked about that it's time to grow. We want to grow bigger and better than what we've been in the past, and there's some big shoes to fill. I mean, there have been some great people, like I said, that have come before us, but there have been some great programs and initiatives that have been there, and what we want to do is tweak them if they need to be tweaked, and overhaul them if they need to be overhauled. But at the end of the day, make this place the best that it can be.
Yeah, that's great. And I know one of the other things that is new for you this year is you have a student as a son at LaSalle.
Yes, my son Joe is a freshman here, and it's very, very special. I mean, I knew, whether I was the principal here or not, this is a great school for Joe Marshall. I mean, for all of our freshmen. I mean, Joe is just one of 200 new freshmen that we have here, and it's such a great fit for all of our freshmen. I mean, there's so much that we offer academically and athletically and artistically, and we're very proud of our diversity that we have here. We embrace it, and we know it makes us the great school that we are. So, as a father, it's wonderful to be an opportunity that you come to school each day and work in a place that you feel great about personally and professionally, but it's also nice to have your son here as well.
Yeah, sure. And he's loving it, I presume?
He's loving it. He's part of the cross-country team, and they were up in East Lansing today at Michigan State University running, and I had a chance to talk to them, and they had a great run up there, and the team did a nice job, and Frank Russo does a great job coaching that team.
Sure. And talk a little bit about, I know you had an opportunity with some of the other folks in the LaSalle community and your staff to take a trip this summer to the Holy Land, and that's part of the School of Faith initiative that is starting here at LaSalle High School. Talk a little bit about that and your experience over in the Holy Land.
Sure. First of all, I'm incredibly blessed to have had this chance to go to the Holy Land. Myself and approximately 40 other educators in the Archdiocese, not only administrators, but teachers and other workers in the Archdiocese went over to the Holy Land as part of the School of Faith initiative, or as I like to say, the Kickoff to what we're going to be doing here moving forward. And John Leyendecker led our pilgrimage over there, and myself and 3 other staff members from our school went there, and that was kind of the mountaintop experience to go over there and to go to a place and experience some things that I never thought I'd even have the chance to do. And we're over there for 10 days, had a wonderful time, and we've come back, and now the work begins. That how do you take that experience and grow it here? And so myself and the 3 other staff members here at LaSalle High School, we get together once a month for several hours and continue to build our own personal faith journey, but also begin to talk about how do we incorporate this even more so with our staff and eventually our students. And so we're really excited about the opportunity to bring School of Faith into LaSalle High School. We're one of the few high schools in this region that has the program, and I don't even know if the right word is program, but it's an opportunity or a partnership that we can connect with the School of Faith and make our school even stronger in our faith journey. And one of the things that separates us from other schools is the incredible faith aspect at LaSalle High School.
I know we usually have a lot of alumni who watch our broadcasts, some of them who maybe have moved away and aren't here in Cincinnati, and maybe some younger alumni who are in their first or second or third years of college who want to see what's going on here at Lancer Stadium. Talk a little bit about what would you say to the alumni? I know we've got homecoming coming up. If you've got a chance to come back to LaSalle, or how you can maybe get involved and learn more about what's going on here at LaSalle, what would you say to those alumni?
I think there are probably 2 things I'd say to the alumni. I think first and foremost, this is our school, and we have a great school in large part because of our alumni, and they are certainly always welcome here. This is not Aaron Marshall's school or the current student body school. This is our school, and so our alumni are always welcome to come back, and whether you live near or far, you're always welcome to come back home here at LaSalle. And the second message is, I constantly talk about our alumni to our current student body. That we have a responsibility, that we're not just living in the present, the year 2017 or the class of 2018 or 19 or 20 or 21. We're representing 57 years of history, and we're representing all of our brothers that came before us. And it's a tremendous responsibility that we have here. And I just was talking with our freshman class a couple of days ago, and I talked about that rich history and tradition that we have here. And so when I say thank you to our alumni, we have a fantastic school. We have a rich history and tradition because of our alumni. And what I have learned in my brief time here at LaSalle High School is there is a passion here that is unmatched. I mean, there are some great schools around, no question about it, but I will match our passion against anyone's around. I mean, the passion that people have for what we do on a daily basis here at LaSalle High School is inspiring to me and so many of our students and staff.
So I mentioned we have homecoming coming up here, but what else is kind of coming up in the calendar the next couple of months that folks should look for, and an opportunity to participate in some way in the LaSalle community?
I think the best thing we can all do is continue to share our story with other people out there, share the product, if you will, that we have here at LaSalle High School. I mean, there's so much that we offer in the classroom and beyond, on fields and courts and stages, through faith development, community service. And we have a number of shadows that are coming in, 8th grade students around the tri-state area coming in and shadowing us. And share with your neighbors and your family members and your friends that come shadow at LaSalle. Let our actions, let who we are speak for itself. I mean, we can talk all day, Marty, about all the great things we have here at LaSalle, but at the end of the day, I'd like to believe that you come and visit us, you'll get to see firsthand what it's all about, and there's an energy and a passion in our school and beyond that's second to none. And so I would encourage people to encourage others to come and shadow at LaSalle. We had 8 students in today, and it's fantastic to see them, and we know that we have many more signed up, and we're always looking to have an opportunity to share who we are with others. So spread the word, get online, sign up for a shadow day, and come experience the greatness at LaSalle.
So who's going to send out more tweets tonight, you or Barrett?
Well, you know what? There's no one that works harder than Barrett Cohen. I mean, he between tweeting and being on the radio, I don't know how he does it. He sets the trend, and I just like to share some of the good things that people may not be aware of through Twitter. So, I share classroom stuff, maybe behind the scenes stuff, but at the end of the day, it's all about promoting LaSalle, and Barrett does a great job.
It's at LaSalle or at LS Principal. That's how we follow this guy here on Twitter.
Principal,
absolutely.
But there's so much to report. I don't know if we need more people tweeting about the greatness here at LaSalle.
Sure, absolutely. Follow and retweet, right?
Follow and retweet.
That's great. Hey, thanks for your time up here. You're doing a terrific job, and we thank you.
Thank you. Lancers roll deep.
That was Principal Aaron Marshall, and we are just about ended halftime here. Thanks, Aaron. And we're about to kick off the second half of this contest with the LaSalle Lancers leading the Scott County Cardinals 21-7. And Jeff, just so many great things here happening at LaSalle. We talked about homecoming that's coming up. We've got the open house for 8th graders and 7th graders on November 4th. You're starting to see all the signs pop up all over this side of town. Great opportunities to participate in the community here at LaSalle.
Oh, absolutely. And boy, with homecoming, there's a million events that go on coming next week. And it starts tomorrow night with a homecoming dance right here at Lancer Stadium. They're going to start putting the tent up. He had told me after the game tonight.
Everybody off the field.
For the tent. And for also all the doors open at 8 o'clock for that. Dance concludes at 11 o'clock. Looks like they have a good weather night.
Yeah, absolutely. It's supposed to be a great weekend.
And then, of course, homecoming next weekend against Winton Woods. And they will be honoring the special classes for special reunion events for the classes of 1972, 1977, 82, 87, 92, 97, 2002, 2007, and 2012. And they'll also have the big reunion for what they now call the Golden Lancers. And that's anybody that's been hitting their 50th year of graduated here from LaSalle High School. And they will be joining that Golden Lancer club. It's something my father really loves, is his Golden Lancer when they did that last year, and now the 1967 class and each individual class has got their own activities, so check the different social media accounts.
Website, lasallehs.net.
Yeah, or you can always inundate Mr. Barrett Cohen. He is the master of knowing what is going on in the hallways of LaSalle High School and with the alumni. So, Marty, what a job this Lancer defense did to adjust. 12 yards rushing is all Scott County had in that second quarter after 107 in the first.
And now they're going to get the opportunity to take possession to start the second half as the Lancers won the toss and deferred. And back deep for the Lancers is number 6, Sam Hildebrand. And we are just about to kick it off here to start a second half of football.
Kicking off will be Colin Dempster as the Lancers look to build on this 21-7 halftime lead. Hildebrand will take it to 3. He's going to go to the far sideline.
That's a flag.
There's a block in the back there.
I could have thrown that flag from here.
Wow, that's a silly foul because Hildebrand had already passed that man, and he wasn't going to make the tackle.
Yep.
So the Lancers are going to start deep in their own end because of that flag. LaSalle's had some drives starting deep in their own end. And we saw a drive in that first half starting at the 2-yard line.
That's right.
This one will start
at the 5.
The 5, and you got to be careful that with the ball down in this end that you don't need a quick defensive score, and all of a sudden they're right back in this game. So Cam Porter's next to Griffin Merritt in the shotgun. Coming in motion is Luke Dashley. He's going to get the handoff.
Actually, I think that is that's 28 Smith.
Well, that's the freshman,
yes,
Devontae
Smith.
Okay, I thought that was Dashley coming in motion. So, Marty, it's not often in the history of LaSalle High School you see a freshman getting carries at tailback. But Devontae Smith is doing that. I mean, even when Jeremy Larkin was here, he didn't carry the ball as a freshman. So, a lot of bright things thought of with him. Cam Porter with the handoff up the middle, and he runs into Mr. Hudson. 6'5", 300 pounds there to greet Cam Porter, and that trip came to a short end, and it'll be 3rd and long. I'll tell you what, Hudson not only a fantastic offensive lineman, he's made some nice plays defensively for this team.
I'll tell you, Jeff, Sam Sutton at the far side is guarding Josh Wiley, and he almost came off the field shaking his arm like a little bit of a stinger or funny bone. I'd love to see him go for Josh right here on this play.
3rd and 7. Merritt rolling.
He's rolling the other direction.
Firing.
Oh, boy.
And it's picked off by number 14, and that is Glen Covington, who's their starting wide receiver and cornerback. And Marty, just as I had said, you got to be careful down in this end not to give up a defensive score, and that's exactly what happens. And Scott County is right back in this game. It's 21-13 with an extra point forthcoming.
Yeah, Covington made a great play on that ball, and Jeff, we could see it from our vantage point.
PAT up and good.
That was kind of an easy pick six.
Just
whether the receiver didn't come back to the ball or it was just floated out there.
I just don't think he got the ball out there quick enough. Threw it a little bit behind him, and Covington made a great play in coverage. And with 10:33 left in this 3rd quarter, the game is tightened up. It's now LaSalle 21, Scott County 14. Marty, boy, that's really changed the whole complexion of this ball game with that defensive score. Just the 2nd interception that Griffin Merritt has thrown this season. Something we haven't seen that I can recall, Marty, is Cam Porter back deep to receive the kickoff for the Lancers. I can't recall Cam being in on kickoff returns.
Yeah, he's kind of the up man here. He's standing about the 16-yard line, and he's got Hildebrand behind him and Wills to the opposite side of the field.
But this has re-energized the Scott County team and the crowd that's traveled down with them from Georgetown, Kentucky. You can see the excitement now. Hildebrand takes it at the 3. He's got a hole up to the 25 and falls forward to the 30. Tackle on the play for the Cardinals was Peyton Brown.
So we'll see if the Lancers can answer.
Better field position now,
and turn this momentum back around in their own favor.
Oh yeah, you can feel the momentum after the Lancers got two of the turnovers in the first half. This one, the pick six goes the opposite way. LaSalle's got their hands full. 21-14. A lot of shifting going on with the Scott County defense. Quick pass out in the flat to Siebert. And he's going nowhere. Quickly brought down.
You know, Jake Roberts had a nice block held on that play, but too many white jerseys for Seibert to get past.
Matt Fannin on the tackle for the Cardinals. So 2nd and 9. Here's a blitz. Merritt takes it up, and he's going to run with it, pick up a couple yards. And, boy, you can feel the momentum switching in this game and how fired up that Scott County sideline now is. It's 3rd and 8. Lord, I thought maybe Griffin had a
Had a tunnel to get through?
Yeah.
Not quite. Or if he did, it closed quickly.
It did close very, very quickly. Merritt looking, gonna run with it, and boy, he's blasted.
He got killed.
Right at the
No
line
gain.
of scrimmage. No gain. The Lancers are gonna have to punt. That play, Marty was, and we've got a late flag here, so we'll see. Hang on. A lot of pushing and shoving over there after the play, and a flag goes up very late, and we'll see what the call is. But sportsmanlike on Scott County is going to keep this Lancer drive alive.
Yeah, I didn't see there was a big crowd over there at the tackle.
There was a bunch of people around. There's a lot of pushing and shoving after that. We see head coach Jim McKee for the Cardinals having a discussion with the side judge over there. But Marty, boy, that's a huge penalty that goes in the Lancers' favor there that's going to keep this drive alive. Merritt looking downfield, and he was grabbed. That's got to, boy, Jake Roberts was grabbed. You can see his jersey being pulled back, and nothing was called. You can hear folks in the stands pointing that out, and the back judge looks the other way. 2nd and 10.
Now Merritt rolls out. Changes direction. He's got a lot of room.
The 50, the 45, and knocked out of bounds inside or at the 40-yard line. First down, Lancers, and boy, he did a nice job cutting it back against the green to the backside, and there were no defenders left on that side of the field. Matt Fannin, the strong safety for the Cardinals, knocks him out of bounds.
Scott County doing a nice job, though, defending.
They have here in the second half. 8:33 left, third quarter, 21-14. Cam Porter straight up the middle. The 25, down to the 20-yard line. A gain of 20, and this Lancer offense picking up some steam. Marty, that penalty could be huge. Could lead to a Lancer score.
Another carry by
right
Porter.
Right up the middle, 50, the 10, 5, touchdown! Lancers from 20 yards out. Cam Porter goes into the end zone, and LaSalle has extended the lead to 27-14.
Untouched. Great job by the offensive line. He ran right up the middle and did not get a finger laid upon him all the way to the end zone.
Cam Porter now with 113 yards and 2 touchdowns. The second time this season that Cam Porter has gone over 100 yards rushing.
Great effort by that offensive line on that last 2 runs, Jeff.
Really was. Gave him some huge running lanes. And Jake Siebert, boy, I thought he was going to hit the scoreboard with that extra point as he blasts it through. And with 8:15 left in this third quarter, it's LaSalle 28, Scott County 14. Marty, how big was that personal foul penalty? Long after the play, LaSalle was getting ready to hit the punt it back.
Absolutely, Jeff.
And that extended the drive. LaSalle takes advantage of it and goes for the touchdown. But man, oh man, that was a huge call there that aided that drive. And this Lancer offense has been very effective here tonight.
Yeah, Scott County hasn't even had the ball yet offensively.
No. 28-14.
Seibert will be on to kick off for the Lancers.
Back deep for Scott County is Bronson Brown and Glen Covington. Siebert's kickoff will come down at the 3. It's Bronson Brown. And he will be lucky to get it out to the 16-yard line.
Good coverage by the Lancers and a great kick.
And we will see if this Lancer defense continues their impressive play after that first drive of the game, which Scott County went 80 yards and punched it in the end zone. After that, Scott County has just mustered 53 yards of offense since then. We'll see how this third quarter unfolds for this Lancer D. Start with that handoff to Barnett up the middle, and he's got nothing going there. Wrestled down by Jabari Neal Jackson, and he's starting to become
coming to be a factor in the middle of that line, isn't he?
He really is. The 5'10", 194-pound junior for the Lancers. And
he and Jake Newton share the time at that nose guard position, and both of them been very effective tonight.
Yeah, both of them right now are playing together as Lancers getting a little bit more beef up front. Coming in motion is Brown.
Back to pass
is Harris, and he is blasted. Is Josh Davis to the ground? Who was that?
He was hit by his own man, but it was number 19, Brody Engel, that drove the offensive lineman back into him, Jeff.
Wow. I mean, that was impressive.
That's the hardest hit we've had on the quarterback tonight, and it was by his own man.
Yeah, I mean, Brody Engel blasted that offensive lineman back into Josh Davis and knocked him backwards. It's 3rd and 15, and Marty, what I've noticed out there is Bryce Fryman, their leading rusher, is not in the game. Here's
Sweep to the
Bronson
side.
Brown, and he will pick up a couple before being brought down by Garrett Bledsoe and Brody Engel. It'll be 4th and long.
So the Lancer defense continues.
Yeah, Fryman had 79 yards rushing on 10 carries. And Marty, I don't know if he's injured or what, but we did not see their leading running rusher out there on the field on that possession. You know, I noticed that he normally is on kickoff returns, and I noticed he wasn't out there for that. So I don't know if Fryman might be injured.
Davis will be kicking starting from his goal line.
It'll be taken at the 49 by Hildebrand. He will come up the field, and the Lancers have got great field position as they will start at the Scott County 39-yard line. This is a Lancer team that comes into tonight on a school record 14-game winning streak and has won 11 consecutive non-conference games. And they look to add to both of those streaks here in the second half.
Merritt's got 5 receivers.
Luke
Nobody in the backfield. Well, now Porter will
Porter's
come
coming
back to
over.
the backfield.
Luke Dashley, Jake Siebert, Josh Wiley, Jake Roberts are your 4 wideouts. And they're going to have a delay of game. Nope, illegal procedure. Boy, and you know, all the adjustments they make offensively, Marty, it's kind of amazing that we've seen very few mistakes since that Coleraine game up front. It's amazing how disciplined this offensive line has been in picking up this new offense. Here's a draw to Porter. He'll pick up a couple yards. It'll be a 2nd and 13, but Marty to have Cam Porter now already with over 100 yards rushing, and to have done it for the 2nd time this year. He went over 100 yards in that win down at East Central. Blitzing is Scott County. Merritt tries to run with it, and he will just get back to the line of scrimmage before being brought down by defensive tackle Nick Lally. Lally, the 6 foot, 260-pound senior.
That'll now bring up a 3rd and long, 3rd and about 14.
And this would be it's a big 3rd down play here on the Scott County side of the field. Pat McLaughlin signaling the plays in from the sidelines. Griffin Merritt back. Throws. A little bit behind Jake Roberts. He had it momentarily and dropped it. And that'll be a 4th down. And the Lancers will be forced to punt. Nice defensive stand there by the Scott County defense, but that illegal procedure call on 1st down was a big part of that drive going backwards. Drew Neiman in to punt for the Lancers. Once again, Scott County with 10 guys on that line. And they're coming after Neiman, and he's running with the ball. He's down to the 40, and he is not going to get it. Marty, I don't know if that was a designed fake punt.
Well, he dropped it. He dropped the snap, but it bounced right back up to him, and he didn't hesitate
to take off.
And it was actually a pretty good play, because had he hesitated or tried to kick it, he was not going to get that off.
And we had seen the Lancers with a punt blocked last week. And with talking to Coach McLaughlin, he was not happy with that. And they'd spent a lot of time on punt
protection.
And it's tough when you drop the ball back there, as Neiman took off, but not quite enough for the 1st down, and Scott County takes over at their own 40.
And off to Barnett. He spins.
Spin move, still on his feet. He's going to get a 1st down. That's the best play they've had, Marty, maybe since the 1st quarter, 12-yard gain. And Bryce Fryman still out of the game. Fryman, their number 1 rusher, came in with close to 600 yards rushing, is out of the game. So Bronson Brown is a 5'10", 145-pound sophomore who only had 6 carries on the season that has taken his spot. He comes in motion, handoff to Barnett up the middle. This time he's going to be stopped after a couple of yards gain. Tell you what, Barnett is a hard-nosed player out there. Chase Campbell and Shane McNally on the tackle for the Lancers. So we see LaSalle kind of rotating in linebackers here tonight.
Thiemann checks in and Uran checks out on this 2nd and 8 play.
His Lancers have gone with an extra, D lineman in front, so an extra defensive tackle. And a little bit more of almost a 4-3 look at times tonight than what the standard 3-4 base defense the Lancers normally play. So handoff, nope, fakes the handoff. The pass complete to number 12, and that is Bryce Brown, and he is down to the 2-yard line. Peyton Brown. And great deception there, because I thought that Austin Barnett had the ball on the fullback dive.
And Brown was wide open. He had nobody near him and nearly scored a 40-yard touchdown. Wills caught him, drug him down at the 2, but Scott County's in business.
Austin Barnett lined up right behind Josh Davis. He's going to get the carry, goes up the middle, and he is tackled there near the goal line by Brody Engel. And they'll give him a yard. It'll be 2nd and goal at the 1 as we're down to 2:20 and counting left in this third quarter. But a big play off on the pass game. You don't see much from this Scott County team. It only averages about 6 pass plays a game. But that one gashed the Lancers and gets them within striking distance. Fumble, and Davis picks it up, and he's going to be knocked down by Zach Rumpke back at the 4-yard line, and it'll be 3rd and goal.
I think this is 4-down territory for the Cardinals.
I do too. Just the way that the Lancers offense has had a good deal of success going up and down the field. Yeah, I agree, Marty. I think this is 4-down territory. Austin Burdett, Peyton Brown, Bronson Brown, the running backs for the Cardinals. Brown comes in motion.
Well, that looked like a false start.
Yes, and it was. Barnett moved early, and Marty, that play was going to be a reverse to Glen Covington. But not often do you see a reverse run at the 5-yard line.
Oh, that tells you the kind of speed he has.
Wow, yeah, Covington, it goes both ways. He had that pick 6 earlier in this third quarter.
So now 3rd and goal from the 9.
Lancers this season are allowing just 23% of conversions on 3rd down. Coming in tonight, it was 8 of 35. So it's now 3rd and goal back at the 9-yard line. And timeout will be taken by the Cardinals with 55 seconds left in this third quarter.
I think that's a smart idea by the Cardinals. This is a big play for them.
I don't see many coaches. You see Jim McKee over there with the tie on over there, long sleeve shirt.
Looking good.
You don't see too much of that these days. It stand out when you do that. You see him in a lot of times. He likes wearing this big floppy hat that you'll see him on the sidelines with during practice. And the interesting thing, he's got his own coaches show down in Georgetown, Ohio. Yeah, a series
Kentucky,
of highlights.
yeah.
Georgetown, Kentucky. Sorry. And, boy, it looks like a college-level coaches show that you would see. He's the media darling down there in
Well, they play on the college field, right?
They do. Their home field is at Georgetown College. The Lancers will be playing down there next season. And
if you haven't been to Georgetown College, just say they play at a college like Georgetown College. Of course, the Cincinnati Bengals held their training camp at Georgetown College for many years before they moved back up here to Paul Brown Stadium for training camp. And if you haven't been to those facilities, you think those are world class if the Bengals are coming down there?
That's top notch for a Division III college. Big 3rd down here. See Craig Wills on man-to-man coverage with Covington outside. See if they throw, and we got movement again. That's going to cost Scott County an additional 5 yards. And it's going to be 3rd and goal now back at the 14-yard line.
And that was Brody Engel who jumped into the A gap, showing a blitz, and drew the false start from the Cardinals. So Engel, a nice job to get the offensive line to flinch.
What a stand so far by this Lancer defense. See if they can finish this off. But they have sent Scott County backwards since they were at the 2-yard line after that long pass. And now you got to think, maybe do we see the ball going up in the air again with a pass from Josh Davis. In motion comes Brown.
He's
They're
back
going
to
throw
pass.
it. He gets hit as he throws it, and the ball's incomplete.
Well, he was open, too.
Was that Jared Uran that got him?
It was. Uran hit him well.
And I think that was the same play they had ran on the last passing play.
He was open too, and if Uran hadn't hit him, they might have completed that pass for a touchdown, Jeff.
Peyton Brown was open. And
Looks like they're bringing the field goal team on.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. Colin Dempster, who is 1 of 1 this season on field goal tries, will be on for, it looks like, a 37-yard attempt. Dempster, the senior kicker, and he's been blasting through those 2 extra points. High kick, high snap, the kick is up, and it hit the crossbar. No good. What a goal line stand by this Lancer defense.
Boy, you're not kidding. The Lancers tried to jump that play again and tried to get them to flinch, thought they had a legal procedure again.
Because everybody kind of stopped.
That's right, but the kick did hit the crossbar, no good. And after 1st and goal from the 2, the Lancers hold and will take possession at their 20-yard line.
Boy, Marty, these 2 huge plays in this second half. One of them being that personal foul that went against Scott County that gave the Lancers, kept that drive alive. LaSalle went down and scored. And then this goal line stand and the missed field goal, and the Lancers lead by 14. Here's Cam Porter up the middle. He gets it out to the 24-yard line, a gain of 4. 35 seconds and counting left in this third quarter.
And the Lancers don't look like they're going to be in such a hurry with a 2-touchdown lead.
Now, that usually slows down this offense. No need to go that fast. They're going to have to snap it here before the quarter ends, as there was a 3-second difference on the play clock to the game clock. And there was, as they will snap and hand the ball up to Porter. Porter makes a man miss and will slide forward out to the 29-yard line, about a yard short of a first down. And it will be 3rd and 1 when we start the fourth quarter. As we head to the final 12 minutes, your score here at Lancer Stadium, it's LaSalle 28 and Scott County 14.
So the third quarter, we saw touchdowns from both squads. One on a pick 6 on the Griffin Merritt interception. And then the Lancers answered that interception with a long drive down the field that ended in a Cam Porter touchdown.
This is Lancer team that has compiled 317 yards of offense in this ball game compared to 197 for the Cardinals.
I'd like to see a quarterback keeper here.
Big third down here. Scott County looks like they're showing blitz.
And we might see a quarterback keeper now.
5 receiver set. 3rd and 1. Quick pass to Porter in the flat.
Good block.
Nice block by Siebert. Porter will get outside and get the first down up to the 36-yard line. And, boy, Jake Siebert can do it all.
I'll tell you, he's my early candidate here for player of the game. It's not over yet.
Boy.
He's played a great game.
Boy, a field goal, touchdown reception, and a huge block there to spring Porter on the first down.
There's the keeper.
Boy, that looked like a possible face mask there. Nothing called. It'll be a gain of 5 for Griffin Merritt. Boy, Marty, this is an interesting formation. 4 receivers now to the near side.
They've only got 2 guys over here. Porter,
Pass
nice
to Porter
catch.
Behind him, and he's going to take it, get a first down.
Nice downfield blocking by this receiving core. Jake Roberts, Luke Dashley, Josh Wiley doing a tremendous job blocking downfield. Jake Seibert also on that play, downfield blocking. And they're going to do this. They're going to run out the same formation on the opposite side.
Yeah, Marty, with just 2 guys over there, you're outnumbering them.
Absolutely.
See if they run that same play.
Boy, then you fake it to one and go deep to the next guy?
See if they run that same play again. Nope, this time they're looking to Wiley. Merritt's going to run up the middle, still on his feet, and he's going to get inside the 40-yard line. An 11-yard carry and a Lancer first down.
And I think so. Griffin turns that into a first down after Wiley was double covered, and Coach McLaughlin, I still think, wanted him to throw it.
And Scott County calls a timeout, Marty. They had a player, it was nose tackle Nick Lally that limped off the field. LaSalle was getting ready to snap the ball, and no defender had gone to replace him. It was going to be 11 against 10. And that's why Scott County called that timeout. Kind of like the chances 11 on 10. You don't see that a whole lot.
No, it's good odds if you're on the 11 side. That's tough if you're on the 10 side.
Yeah, especially you're playing, trying to play defense. Reminder that there's a new location for the LaSalle Spirit Shop in the courtyard. And there's 3 easy ways to shop and support your Lancers online. You can shop anytime, 24/7, or in-store. They're there Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., plus special school events and extra hours as they're open while the game is going on. And you can also call and place an order at 741-2345. And that is the brand new LaSalle Spirit Shop, now located in the courtyard.
And we've got the Wildcat again as Griffin Merritt's out wide, and Porter is in to take the snap.
And Cam is going to take care of it. And there was Brian Hudson, who had him initially. He gets away from Hudson, but then knocked down by Burke Watts, the leading tackler on this Scott County defense.
One last note on that Spirit Shop, Jeff. They've got some terrific stuff. It's starting to get a little cool now. Go in, get one of those 3/4 zip shirts. Oh, those are nice.
They got some great stuff. Quick pass out to Cam Porter out in the flat. Makes a man miss.
Didn't get the block from Seibert that time.
Tackle by number 15, Winston Reibel, the outside linebacker. And Marty, it's just that Lancers, I don't think they're getting that pass out there quick enough, and he's not leading Cam, and he's throwing it behind him. And by the time Cam catches it, turns back around, the advantage you had offensively has gone away.
It's 3rd and 15.
9:50 and counting here in this fourth quarter. LaSalle leading Scott County 28-14. So Merritt in the shotgun. Porter is next to him. He'll go back to pass.
Blitz.
He avoids a rusher.
You better throw it.
Fires, complete the Siebert, who is walloped to the ground, but not after Jake Siebert picks up a first down, and LaSalle converts a 3rd and 15. And Marty, you might be right. This is the night, a wonderful night for Jake Siebert.
Man, he got his bell rung on that, but held on. I wouldn't have held on to that.
I can't believe he could hang on to that. I'm not sure Siebert ever saw him, because when he caught it and he turned and ran right in to their strong safety, Matt Fannin, who leveled Siebert.
And that's going to give the Lancers an opportunity to run a couple minutes off the clock.
Yeah, they're waiting now. Hand off to Porter. And does a nice job to get a couple yards out of that.
Yeah, got tripped up a little bit, but dove forward to get some positive yardage. Oh, and there's a flag on the play, a late flag. They're going to get Wiley. They're going to get Wiley away from the ball. I mean, that is nowhere near the play, Jeff.
Silly personal foul.
And we've seen those called on Wiley the last couple of years, Jeff.
We have. Maybe a little, frustration of Josh, who's just had 2 catches tonight. He's had a pretty quiet night. But that's a penalty that you can't have in these situations. It's only a 2-score game in the fourth quarter, and boy, that puts the Lancers now back in 2nd and long. They need to get down near the 17-yard line for a first down. It's 2nd and 20. Merritt back, looking.
He's in trouble.
And he is, and he's going to be sacked. That was number 75, Colton Combs, on the sack for.
And just like that, the Lancers are now back toward midfield.
On 3rd and a 30. And Marty, what really caused that, or is it 4th down now?
Well, it was only 2nd down. I think maybe they didn't.
Unless they called that flag after the play?
Yeah, I believe that's the case.
That must be, or it would still only be 3rd down.
But, Jeff, I still thought this was only the 3rd play.
I did too. I was thinking this was 3rd down.
Wasn't Porter's run the first one, and then that was a penalty? I don't know.
I don't know either. I thought this was 3rd down too. Big rush on. Nice punt there by Drew Neiman. Will hit it to 20. And it will roll down to the 16. And that's where it will be marked down at.
Neiman's done a nice job tonight, Jeff. I mean, he boomed that punt out of his own end zone facing the rush. Then on the last one, should have been blocked, but was able to run with it and get back to the line of scrimmage. Made the best out of a really bad situation.
It really was Brian Hudson making that play because he had pushed his defender back, which caused Griffin to shuffle to the right on that play, and Combs ended up getting the sack, but Hudson really made that play. 7:28 left in this 4th quarter. LaSalle 28, Scott County 14, and this Lancer defense, what a job. They've only given up 1 offensive touchdown, and that was on the very first drive of the night for the Cardinals. A team that comes in averaging 46 points a game. Coming in motion is Brown.
Back
Davis
to pass.
is throwing down into triple coverage, looking for Covington, and the pass is incomplete.
Yeah, Covington didn't even turn around in time to see that ball. And the Lancers had it well defended.
They did that time. 2nd and 10, and we still do not see Bryce Fryman, the leading rusher for Scott County, has not played a down in this second half.
I can't see their uniform numbers from this far away to know if he's dressed on the sideline.
Or what the situation. And there's Barnett up the middle. Boy, make a couple guys miss, and we'll pick up 6 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 4. Martin, I think once you're in this wing tee, this is really troublesome when you get behind the 4th quarter. When you're down multiple scores, it's tough to score quick with this offense.
Yeah, but, you know, this team can throw the ball out of the wing tee, as evidenced by his 5 touchdowns and almost 500 yards passing coming into tonight.
A lot of that, though, came in one game against Bowler. He didn't have a whole lot in the first 3 games. And
Lancers jump off sides, and that'll give Scott County a 1st down.
I think that was Jake Newton at that right across from the ball, jumping, and will gift wrap a Scott County 1st down. .635 and counting. Scott County doesn't look like they're in any huge hurry here offensively. Of course, we saw that with Coleraine as well. These run-oriented teams. And Marty, you talked about that earlier. When you have to run over to get the play from the quarterback, it's hard to go fast. Davis looking, throwing long. He's looking for his tight end, and he drops the ball. Landed easily down at the 46-yard line of the Lancers. Had it and dropped it. Easily the 6'5", 190-pound senior.
Yeah, easily had to wait on it to get there.
He was open.
Yep.
First time all night that they have thrown a pass to their tight end. Kind of forget about their tight end in this offense. He's only got 2 catches on the season.
Right up the
Here's
middle.
Barnett up the middle. He'll pick up 5 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 5. And Marty, are you wondering, are they getting into 4-down territory with them? Under 6 minutes to play, down
I think
2
this
scores.
is a big play here, Jeff, because I think this is a little too far away to go for it on 4th down from this spot. But they pick up another 1st down? Maybe.
They're going to officially call it 3rd and 4. They need to get to the 38-yard line for a 1st down.
Quarterback's got it.
Quarterback keeps it. Can Engel get him? He cannot. As it became a foot race there between Engel and quarterback Josh Davis. Davis wins that foot race and picks up a 1st down. You know, Davis does not carry the ball much in this wing tee. Only 10 carries on the season, so it's unusual for him to keep him run with the ball.
He knew right where he had to get to the sticks, and he did. Nice play.
Sure did. Here is Barnett sliding up the middle, and Marty running your fullback is not gonna make up this deficit. And tell you, them not having Fryman at that wingback position in the second half has really cut back on this offense.
Yeah, he's the real home run threat, as we saw on that first drive, Jeff, around that kind of end around.
And Lancers did a good job of defending that after that first drive, but man, they're not even running that. Everything right now is Barnett and Davis. He's going to go back to pass. Ball
Tipped.
is deflected as he threw it. I think Zach
Rumpke
got a piece of Davis's arms, and the ball flutters harmlessly to the ground. 4:31 left in this game. 3rd and 6. Marty, even when they do fake it, they still bring that wing back in motion. He's standing right behind the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It looks very crowded backfield when they do that.
That's part of the deception.
That is. Yeah, we got an end around to Bronson Brown, or to Peyton Brown. He'll get a 1st down to the 46-yard line. And another 3rd down conversion by the Scott County offense. But the clock is on the Lancer side.
And now they look to be.
Now they're going up tempo. No huddle, right back to the line of scrimmage.
Barnett up the middle.
Makes a couple guys miss, and he's going to have another 1st down. Barnett having a nice game.
Lancers better get back to defensive position. They may have been caught a little off guard on that play.
Yeah, Austin Barnett suddenly starting to churn up some yards. Now 18 carries, 74 yards for the junior tailback. Barnett again, and he goes down after a short gain there on the tackle for the Lancers was Adrian Crawford. So tick, tick, tick. Under 4 minutes to play. Scott County with just 1 timeout left. And they need 2 scores. And now, Marty, it's weird. They didn't huddle on the last play, and they huddled for this one. Kind of interesting.
And around
again, and the Lancers sniff it out. Zach Rumpke trips up Peyton Brown in the backfield for a loss of 4. And it will bring up now a 3rd and 11. They have to reach the 26 for a 1st down.
How about the game Rumpke's playing against Brian Hudson tonight, Jeff? We've called Rumpke's name a handful of times tonight.
Quite a few times have we called his name.
He had 4.5 tackles and a half sack at the end of the 3rd quarter.
Davis back to pass, looking for Covington downfield, and it hits him in the ankle. Boy, Marty, it looked like if he stretches out for that, he might have a chance to catch that. Instead, he doesn't, and the ball ends up hitting him in the ankle.
Yeah, I think you're right. Wills was there, but
a nice pass by
didn't make a good adjustment on that ball in the air, Jeff.
Not at all. I mean, That's usually what you get from a wing tee.
So now you've got
Team.
4th down, 4th and 11, and they're in, obviously here, go for it territory.
2:49 left to play. And the Lancers this year defensively have held teams to 3 of 7 on 4th down.
Back to pass.
Davis back to pass.
Oh,
He's
boy.
sacked. Adrian Crawford, his first sack of the season, will end this ball game as the senior wipes out Josh Davis, and the Lancers take over on down.
Crawford was unblocked. I mean, I'll give him credit for it, but nobody touched him. Nobody laid a hand on him. Nice job.
That helps, and that's tough for a wing T team when the opponent knows you have to throw the ball, and you can just pin your ears back as a D lineman and come after them. Marty pointed it out very well, unblocked, and he comes pouring through, and the Lancers take over at their own 45.
So now the key is just don't turn the ball over.
Absolutely. We're seeing a lot of Cam Porter, and there he is right now, up the middle. Gain of 3. 2nd and 7. 2:30 and counting. And Marty, the nice thing is Scott County, just 1 timeout left. And LaSalle will bleed every second off the clock that they can before they snap it.
Griffin will look toward the back judge here to see when the clock gets to 5 seconds.
I think it'll just be another handoff to number 24.
There it is.
And there it is. Porter up the middle. Comes out the other side, a couple of yards short of a first down. No timeout taken by Scott County. 3rd and 3, and Marty, a first down here would finish things off officially. Dan Ratterman limping off the field, Lancers offensive tackle.
He's had a rough night.
He has been beat up tonight. Minute 25 and counting. Cam Porter looks a little confused as to where he's supposed to be.
Down to 5 seconds. They better snap it. Nope. Boy, I'll tell you, that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
Now you're going to have a hard time keeping possession.
Yeah, third and 8.
I mean, I went from a 3rd and 3.
And really, it was Cam Porter didn't get lined up where he was supposed to be. And the Lancers should have taken a timeout. And I saw Jeff Weirman go towards the side judge, indicating a timeout, just didn't get to him in time. So I'm not sure the Lancers would be willing to throw the ball or not. They are. Pass to Josh Wiley. He's got it. First down. Lancers at the 40-yard line. Gain of 13. And that will put this one in the books.
Victory formation coming in.
And Marty, it's interesting. We've seen Merritt in the shotgun for these kneel downs. And
he is now.
He is now. Okay, I thought maybe he was going to go under center. Not a big fan of the shotgun to kneel it down.
No.
And they'll have to snap it one more time, and this one will come to an end. And Marty, this loss tonight equals Scott County's total losses from last year.
Yeah, 0 for 2 in the GCL.
Yeah, they are now 0 for 4 all time against the GCL. They've lost twice to Elder, last week to Moeller, and one time to the Lancers. They will not have to snap it again. This game has come to an end. LaSalle goes to 4-0 on the season. Scott County falls to 3-2. as the Lancers have defeated the Scott County Cardinals here tonight by the final score of 28-14.
And Jeff, you know, the scoreboard maybe doesn't show how dominant a game this was by the Lancer defense tonight. You know, there's only one offensive touchdown scored by Scott County, and that was on the first drive. You know, and after that they had the pick six. But really after that first drive, Scott County not able to do much at all on offense. And look at the job that the Lancers did on that defensive stand when Scott County had first and goal from the 2. They drove them back, missed field goal, and I think that was really the nail in the coffin of this game. At that time, you know, they score a touchdown and it's back to a one-possession game.
Back to a 7-point game, and then you don't know what might happen, you know, at that particular time. And instead, the field goal attempt that goes up hits the crossbar, and the Lancers then pull away to go on to the 28-14 victory. Marty's got to look at our final stats.
For Scott County tonight, they had 13 first downs and 163 rushing yards on 43 carries, 61 passing yards for a total of 224 offensive yards for the Cardinals. Individually for Scott County, Bryce Fryman, even though he didn't play in the second half, had 10 carries for 79 yards in the first half and led Scott County in rushing. Austin Barnett, 19 carries for 77 yards. Bronson Brown, 1 carry, 4 yards, and Glen Covington, 1 carry for 4 yards. Josh Davis was 1 of 8 passing with an interception, 42 yards. Sam Sutton, 1 passing attempt for 19 yards. And receiving, just 2 catches. Peyton Brown, 1 catch, 42 yards. Josh Davis, 1 catch, 19 yards. So the Lancers did give up 61 passing yards after the last 2 games, giving up a total of 0. So three-game average of 20 yards per game passing yardage. That's not too bad by the Lancer defense. For LaSalle, they had 19 first downs, 153 yards rushing on 39 carries, 218 yards in the air for a total of 371 offensive yards tonight. Leading LaSalle rushing attack, Cam Porter, 26 carries for 130 yards. Griffin Merritt, 9 carries for 14 yards. Porter had 2 touchdowns on the ground. Merritt with 1 touchdown on the ground. Devontae Smith, 2 carries for 9 yards, and then Drew Neiman, 1 carry for 3 yards. Griffin Merritt, great game tonight by Griffin. 14 of 21 passing for a touchdown, also threw the interception. 218 total yards passing from Griffin tonight. Jake Seibert, my guy for player of the game tonight. 4 catches, 99 yards and a touchdown. Cam Porter, 4 catches, 19 yards. Josh Wiley, 3 catches, 28 yards. And Jake Roberts, 2 catches, 57 yards. The Lancers lost the time of possession tonight. Scott County had the ball for 26 minutes, the Lancers for 22. Lancers penalized 6 times for 127 yards. Well, I don't remember all those penalties.
Wow.
Didn't feel like it.
No. A couple of personal fouls.
And Scott County, 5 penalties for 36. Scott County lost 1 of 2 fumbles, and both teams had an interception. Scott County 6 of 12 on 3rd down, Lancers 5 of 10. And LaSalle 4 of 5 scoring opportunities in the red zone that they converted tonight, and only 1 of 3 for Scott County. And, you know, credit again that Lancer defense of holding Scott County when it mattered the most.
This is a Scott County team, Marty, that comes in averaging 458 yards of offense. LaSalle held them to 224 total yards.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. How about, I'll throw one other stat out there. They come in averaging 46 points a game. LaSalle holds them to 14. That's how good this Lancer defense is. They've given up 17 points in 4 games.
Yep. That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
You're going to be hard-pressed to find a defense better than this one in the city of Cincinnati, and they have done a fabulous job. We're going to hope to catch up with the head coach, Pat McLaughlin, and also Marty's star of the game, Jake Siebert. We're going to try to track down both of them and chat with them about the Lancers' performance here tonight, as they have now upped their school record winning streak to 15 games, and it has been quite a stretch of great football that we've seen from this three-time defending state champs.
Yeah, and the football here at Lancer Stadium is only going to get better, as next week they'll bring in Winton Woods.
He'll come in undefeated 4-0, and probably the biggest challenge right now in Division II, Region 8, is the Winton Woods Warriors, and a team that's looked very, very impressive this year. You know, they've already got wins over Springboro. They beat West Claremont, and I can't remember who their third victory was against, but it is a very formidable team. And, of course, another run-oriented team coming in here, running that wing tees. A little bit the I formation, but a run-based offense. And, Marty, that's what all LaSalle's seen all season is teams that want to run the ball. They're not going to see a team that wants to throw the ball until the following week, Week 6, when LaSalle travels over to Laughlin to face the Moeller Crusaders.
Yeah, well, you know, I think that leads toward some of the yardage that we see on passing, is they've played teams that generally don't throw the ball. But, you know, this Lancers defense, both guarding the rush and the pass, have just been extremely successful all season long.
LaSalle came in average giving up 127 yards of offense. And the way this is going with this defense, I mean, Marty, this is starting to look like this could go down in the annals from what they've done. Maybe too early to even talk about this as one of the best defenses in school history. We're going to talk to the sophomore here, Jake Seibert. I'm glad he corrected me here right off the bat. The sophomore who has done a little bit of everything tonight. Let's try to run down everything he said. 4 catches, 99 yards and a touchdown. Also kicked. What was the field goal? 4 extra points. Yeah, there was no field goal. For some reason I thought that was a field goal tonight. And, well, you did a little bit of everything tonight. It's got to feel good to be able to contribute, kicking, and pick up your first career touchdown. Talk about that.
Yeah, it feels good to help out my team any way possible. Sorry. Scoring my first touchdown was pretty awesome. Hopefully I get a lot more this season.
A lot more opportunities. I tell you, you're getting more and more playing time, and boy, it seems like this offense is starting to gain momentum.
Yeah.
Week in and week out. We really started to see it take place last week against West Claremont. I think you guys took a few more steps forward tonight. Talk about how this offense is kind of coming together.
Well, we've been working day in and day out to just get better, focus on the little things, sharpen up the routes. Griffin's getting a lot better on his reads, and we're just playing a lot better.
Talk about your kicking ability and the mental approach you have to take. And it's got to be hard going all of a sudden one play, you might be going 40 yards downfield. Next time you're lining up to kick a field goal. What is that mentality like, and how hard is that to go from receiver to kicker? And it could be in an instant.
I don't really think it's that much of a problem. I'm taught to just forget about everything that happened before and just go out there and kick.
Makes it a lot easier. Just let the mind go blank and go out there and kick.
Yep.
Boy, this team has, I tell you, defensively, with me and Marty were just talking, to give up 17 points in 4 games.
Yeah.
We're just talking about, literally right before you walk back here, is off to one of the best starts in the history of LaSalle High School defensively. You're going to be hard-pressed to ever find a LaSalle team in 15-plus years giving up, less than 17 points in 4 games. From your vantage point, what makes this defense so good?
they get a lot of reps against us in practice, and they do a great job. The linebackers, DBs, line, they all work hard.
How close is this team and the offense, and how much fun is it to be around the guys?
Everybody's all nice to each other. We all have a great time. Practices, outside of practice, in school, wherever. So it's fun to be around them.
How cool was it going down to Paul Brown last night?
I actually did not.
Oh, you didn't make it down there.
No.
Oh man.
I heard they had a great time though.
everything that I heard from Coach, everybody else, sound like you guys had a great time with down there, and to get on national TV is quite an accomplishment. You guys are sitting at 4-0. How do you feel as a team at this point? Do you feel like you have gotten where you thought you guys would be at this point, or kind of what's the overall feeling of where the team's at?
We're doing a great job. We just have to take one game at a time. Forget about this game. We're 1-0 every week. That's our goal.
I like the coach has really pounded that into your head. I could see that. That sounded like Coach McLaughlin's answer back to me.
Yep.
Jake, I appreciate you coming up and joining us. Great effort tonight. We enjoy watching you play, and best of luck in future weeks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Jake Seibert.
Yep.
We got it right now. I want to make sure I get it right. The sophomore kicker and wide receiver. And we're going to throw things over to head coach Pat McLaughlin, who is sliding in next to me now. If the Lancers improve to 4-0 on the season with a 28-14 win over the Scott County Cardinals. And Coach, I'll tell you, you had your hands full. I think you knew it coming in with these with the Cardinals that came in here, and boy, you battled for a full 48 minutes, and you come out with a 2-touchdown win.
Yeah, I mean we knew it was going to be a battle. They weren't going to give up. They won the state championship 2 or 3 years ago. They went to the semifinals the last couple of years, so they know what it takes to play in a big game, and they're going to keep battling. I'm just disappointed. A couple penalties and 1 turnover here at the end. That game should have been 35-7, but give them credit. They hung in, and so did our guys, and we'll take the W.
Well, once again, it seems like your passing game getting better week in, week out. You're hitting those explosive plays now with Griffin, and it really seems like that offense each week is starting to gel more and more.
Yeah, I mean, threw something at us that we hadn't seen, a lot of man coverage, so we had some man beaters in there, a couple things that we thought would work that did, and a couple things that we didn't know if would work, they did. But we got to keep throwing the ball. I'm not sure if we were balanced or not in our running and passing, so 39 and then 21. So 21 for 218 is pretty good, so we'll take it. Just one. That's our second turnover in the year, which is pretty good, so that's just disappointing to get another turnover. But all in all, defense played well again, and we'll take the win.
Yeah, I tell you what, it seemed like defensively, after that first drive, they went 80 yards and scored, had that little play with the wing back coming in motion. It seemed like you guys made that adjustment after that. They had 107 yards rushing at the end of the first quarter.
Right.
They end this game with would end up being rushing yard, 163 yards. So after that,
we settled in. I mean,
56 yards rushing, you give up in the last 3 quarters.
Well, I mean, the thing is, that's hard to replicate and practice the speed of it. And we had talked with the Mueller coaches, and how they hide the ball and the different things they have off of it is good. And their quarterback's really good with his ball handling. So once we got settled in after the first drive, I think you kind of saw us change defense. We went from a stack to our base defense and just kind of played, kept everything in front of us, and you guys did a really good job.
How much did the complexion of their offense change in that second half? Because whatever the reason, Bryce Fryman did not play a snap in the second half. How much did that change what they did offensively? Because all of a sudden they didn't have that explosive player coming around the corner. Yeah,
first of all, I think he got injured. I mean, we got a physical team and a physical defense. This is back-to-back physical games, which is what their coach is trying to do. With that said, you got to stay healthy. So I think it changed your game plan a little bit. Obviously, he's a really good player. So to have him out of the game for whatever reason is a credit to our defense. I hope he's healthy. I hope he's back next week, which I think he'll be. But I'm just not sure they're used to the physicality of, playing GCL teams back-to-back.
Boy, and you guys were physical with them, and I think wore them down, as you can see kind of over the course of that game. Talk a little bit. We had Jake Seibert on here just before. What he did, 4 catches, 99 yards, and a touchdown, and to be such a weapon as a place kicker, and what he does, maybe just as important with his kickoffs.
I mean, the thing is, he's just a sophomore, so he's just like kind of learning the game right now. But we knew he was going to be a good kicker. We knew he had some ability. The thing that I think we're doing right now is we're spreading the ball a little bit. So Jake had 4, Cam had 4, Josh had 3, and then Jake had 2. We got to get Dashley in there a little bit and get maybe a couple other guys in there, Dion in there with some passes. But we're spreading the ball around, which is going to make us hard to defend.
Yeah, it really has.
Yeah.
And, a lot of times you can almost see where you were lining up, when you go 4 wide, you can see, and you had the numbers match up a lot of times throwing that short pass. Is that all just what you guys do, trying to take advantage of what the defense gives you?
Yeah, that's what we call a NASCAR play. So we're calling one play, and the quarterback's going to be out there reading it, and he's counting the numbers everywhere. They were doubling Josh into the boundary, obviously, which I think is a good idea. So sometimes they put 2 out to the 4 receiver, sometimes 3. We still have the advantage, and then sometimes they kept 5 in the box. We have the advantage there, so that's a good play for us.
Cam Porter continues to roll on. Another 100-yard gain for him, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. And, boy, you can kind of see him maturing, him making more decisive movements behind the line of scrimmage when he makes it, whereas he seemed a little bit more tentative earlier in the season. Now he seems to me a little bit more decisive. Yeah,
he's hitting it. He's hitting the holes good. I mean, he's a great player. He's a good kid. He's a workhorse. We got to take some of those carries off his plate. 26 is a lot tonight. We're gonna have to get Dion in there a little bit next week. Tay got in a little bit. Again, so in the running game, Griffin's getting some carries, which is good. We got to get Dion in there, but Cam's really, carrying the load right now. And so if he keeps getting 26 a game, he's not going to make it through the season. We got to spread those out a little bit.
Last 2 guys we're talking about were both sophomores.
Yeah.
Hard to believe with how bright the future is. Had not seen a score for Winton Woods. I know they were playing a team out of Canada. I'm assuming they're going to beat them and come in here undefeated. And boy, this looks like one of Andre Parker's better teams they've had for a while. And, boy, they're always a handful, and they always got a bunch of D1 athletes. And they're always a very, very tough team to play.
Yeah. I'm not even looking ahead to that yet. Enjoy this for 12 hours tonight. But, they'll probably be 4-0. We'll be 4-0. I mean, this is a game we're going to see them again in the playoffs. I mean, they're a good team for everything I've heard. And, we're expecting another good battle like tonight.
Absolutely. You make a good point. Marty and I just talked about that. They look like they could be the cream of the crop outside of you here in Division II.
One game at a time. So we'll move on to next week.
Coach, I appreciate you coming up and visiting with us. And, boy, it rolls on, and you guys are playing well. And I tell you what, boy, this looks like, to me, one of the best defenses that I've seen around here in a long time. And the guys have really gelled, and they're really playing well.
It's just you got to prove it every week, as we tell our guys. I mean, Winton Woods is going to be the best team we're playing next week, and, we got to go out there and prove that we're better than them on offense, defense, and special teams. And, and until we do that, then, we haven't done our job yet. So they got to prove it again next week, and I think we will.
Coach, appreciate you coming up and joining us.
All right.
Congratulations on the victory. Head coach Pat McLaughlin as the Lancers defeat the Scott County Cardinals here tonight, 28-14. I wanted to thank everybody else here that helped us out on the broadcast, our students, Chris Arling, Sean Berkeley, Darren Jones, and our volunteer adult helping us out here tonight, Tyler Doan. And of course, we couldn't do any of this without our executive producer, Doug Growie. We will be on the air next week, starting at 6:45. Kickoff will be at 7 p.m. as the Lancers play the Winton Woods Warriors, the last of this 3-game home stretch. And you'll have 2 4-0 teams going at it here next Friday night at Lancer Stadium. For my partner, Marty Strohoffer, I'm Jeff Bossy. And as always, we appreciate you watching LaSalle Lancer football here on the LaSalle Broadcasting Network.
You guys please pull the door shut when you leave. You can do that, sir. Appreciate it.
I don't know anything else. That is what I'm unfamiliar with.
think of this?
So is he central.